Well, who's doing the recap?
Wayne.
Wayne's
here we
doing
go.
the recap. All right, here we go. What Wayne voice should we do?
What Muppet is he?
I forget.
I had forgotten.
I don't have a good Muppet voice.
Because this is Brandon, the Swedish chef.
I'm Swedish.
Brandon.
And you're the drummer. No, the bassist girl.
Yeah, bass girl.
Oh.
Oh, right.
Yeah, man, you mean.
We can make. I don't know what Wayne was, but we can make him animal. Somebody can just yell his.
Lady have leg chop.
Then you have to do like table slap wipeout.
All right, so let's see. Last time was the beginning of the second Candy War.
Get off the second Candy War.
Oh, right.
That's canon.
Which is
the Candy Wars.
The first shots of the
I
second
like the fact that through the whole game, no one ever asked him what the first one was. But he's.
I mean,
We all understood.
Even school children know about the first one. Come on.
So we open up with.
We were there, Dan. We don't need to ask.
So somebody blows out our front window again.
That sounds sexy.
And tries to blow up the. It doesn't like demolish the shop, but definitely does a lot of damage to it. And in the process, while that's going on,
I thought they did. I thought it was like set on fire. Didn't it burn down?
No, that was last time.
no, it's still standing. And they didn't go for the safe either.
They tried to crack the safe and they failed miserably.
Yeah,
they did not break.
We
They did
paid
not.
for like
They
the
left a
hardened
note.
safe.
I thought the whole place was burned down, and that's why the whole point of like the fireproof paper was a big deal.
Right.
Because the whole candy store had burned down.
It was a husk. Yes, I mean the frame was still standing, but it was a husk.
Yeah.
And while that was going on, they took one of our NPCs whose name evades me, and severed
Mabel?
Mabel.
Yeah. Oh, Mabel, yeah.
And
fucked Mabel's leg up because she stepped in a bear trap.
oh yeah, she stepped in a bear trap,
And then they cut her leg off.
yeah, and there was like this little demon kid who was like running around. Apparently, like as messed up as this was a plot that while it was a subcontracted job of the Crows, right?
Right.
Okay.
So the Crows are in league with the Rollers, but also they had hired mercenaries from the local orphanage.
And it's a bunch of like orphans, and like this is gonna. I don't know. There's a show topic in here, but it's like, man, it's kind of pushing some boundaries. So you don't want to mug kids in these games, but at the same time, when they're coming after you.
Oh, I was this close to burning down that fucking orphanage.
And
Well, you're old enough to do it though.
Oh, right.
it was very Eli Roth and Hostile, right? Like these kids are not.
Oh my God.
They're not appropriate.
I wouldn't go that fucking far.
Yeah, they were not comical, but
so then we chased them around the city a bit and blew up one of their hideouts, and then went to the orphanage, which we came close, but then we found out the orphanage really wasn't involved, except by coincidence that because it's a gang of urchins and orphans, some of them.
It's just where they live.
Yeah, but the orphanage itself is not part of the operation. So their window still got blown out because that's just a major tactical objective of the second Candy
Also,
War.
Booger doesn't know what a door is.
And but then we
Doors
ended
are
up
for chumps.
running down.
Combat rolls through every window he can.
We sicked biter on the kid that was running. It was like
you did. His name was Block William, and he certainly is carrying some sort of fiend.
Yeah.
In his body. Yeah, well, yeah, not anymore. Or is he? I mean, the last I recall, Black William had his leg blown off.
I'm pretty sure you died from
Well, I
this.
say we ran him down, and then I thought we drug
But
him.
does a demon die from that?
Yeah, because he's not a demon. He's
didn't we
part-
just drag him back to the
no, we took him
Fight
to the
Club?
Yeah, we took him there.
To the gym?
Janny fucked some kid's face up by knocking him off that bike. That was.
Oh, right, yeah, I threw my...
And we laughed at him. And then,
they had sent scouts.
And then he was supposed to fight.
I want to say Svetlana.
I think
Yeah.
it's.
And Svetlana was going to break him in half.
And then somehow she was caught off guard, even though
Yeah,
she's a trained fighter. I don't really feel good about that one.
I have a vague memory of like he didn't even pull anything.
No,
he just
like
crap rolled
He's like
There
some
was
sort
no-
of demon alacrity.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
she got
Yes.
like throat shots by something.
by some sort of demonic
but she
alacrity.
wasn't dead.
No,
Yeah.
she's not dead.
I
She was,
didn't like the
Yeah,
kid.
so he didn't physically hit her then.
Didn't the kid
no,
like,
he hit her. He just didn't kill her. He just
No, but it was like so it wasn't like a physical like he just didn't go up and go whap.
Yeah, then didn't he like try and cut and run, and that's when he got his leg shot.
Well,
yeah,
I mean, that was
So
part of the deal.
He went and basically struck her in the throat, right, to essentially, block her, inhibit her ability to breathe, not killing her,
Right.
simply harming her. At
But
which
how?
at-
Because she's like a trained boxer.
because he's not human.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, so like it wasn't just he went.
He
What?
no, he is an inhuman creature.
So
right?
he actually was like just inhumanly fast.
Yes, he is inhumanly, demonically fast, right? And then, of course, Booker blows his leg off.
Yeah, I think it was Booker.
Oh, he
No,
definitely
you
was-
shot him.
Yeah,
No,
he-
I very distinctly remember Damon like, well, I shoot him.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
Because he took
right in the leg.
because the whole thing was if he can get to the door or something like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Give me 3 steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got 3 steps if
Right.
he could beat her. Not to say we let him go,
Right.
but I'm pretty sure he got 1 step and he got shot.
Yeah, so and that was exactly it. And perhaps I did not do a good job of conveying that. But the idea is that he was proving a point that he's
Okay.
supernaturally fast.
So he was just
And
superior.
Yeah, he was just superior. Well, so here's the thing.
Okay, so it makes more sense now to me because I just assumed he was a mix.
No. He is essentially whatever is inside of him and possessing him is using that body.
Okay, so he's just a
Now,
mix.
I don't want to get too much into
Yeah.
the explanation and the whatever, because the expedition's boring, especially for the audience, I'm sure. But yeah, I did not make that clear that he is definitely not a human being.
Okay.
He is definitely outside the abilities, what have you. In fact, the shot that should have killed him, he is writhing, where we cut off, he's writhing in the middle of the mat, and half his legs blown
Yeah.
off.
At some point, did we get out of him where the people were that hired him?
So here's where we go.
Yeah.
Right? Here's where we go. Here's what's perfect. Is the short answer to that is yes. The long answer is we jump right into the actual score itself, and then he's, one of your flashback options along with Mabel. So you flashback interrogating him in the gym, you flashback to Mabel in the hospital, talking to her. I think those are really 2 good options to help set your plans as we get into the score.
We also left out your worst decision ever to make worth someone that you thought we would go after.
So
Yes.
it's interesting that you say that for a lot of reasons, but any which way, that's neither here nor there. I really did so, and yeah, let's talk about that. I think there's another game topic in here too, just real quick, is continuity. Just listening from one episode to the next, I would be really, really curious to see continuity-wise what's changed.
Oh, I am sure there's, between the SOG game and this one, there's a lot of vague, not major broken continuity, but definitely
For sure.
noteworthy broken continuity. But, yeah, it's, I don't know, as long as it's internally consistent, except the internal consistency here is our experience of the story, not the story itself. But anyway, we won't unpack that too
All right,
much.
so Dan, you already have a composer right in front of you. You have that guy looks like why does his head look like a marital aid?
Because
That's
it
what they
was,
were into
man.
back then, man.
Just don't sniff it.
Yep. That's where the phrase given head came from.
From Bach.
From Johann Sebastian Bach.
All right, so then if I am correct,
Give me some
then
Bach, baby.
the plan is that the Crows have a counting house / stash house that the B team is going to go raid.
Oh, yeah, we're going to go straight up nobody on this.
Yes, oh wow.
Yeah.
So
the dinner scene after he does that.
Oh, yeah.
That I want that scene.
oh god, that movie was fun.
That was fun.
It was fun.
It's ostensibly in the John Wick continuity.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, any which way. So, first things first, we have to do the engagement roll, right? Which is going to determine, first things first, you guys get 1 die on the engagement roll based on sheer luck, and then you get a die for each major advantage that you have. So, what major advantages do you have going into this encounter?
Okay, well, we've got their street assets have been their street scouts and their urchins are either off the board or now feeding us information. So I mean that's at least one, maybe 2 separate advantages. If we blinded them and we are taking their information.
Elements of surprise.
Okay, I think that's fair. I think that's certainly worth 1 die. I would offset that to say that yes, you have harmed assets, but one of the big advantages that there should say the primary advantage that the crows have, at least according to the tome, and if it's not, I hope it's continuity now,
Sure.
is their numbers. There are a lot of
They're the
them.
largest game.
Yeah, so I think I'll certainly give you a die for having gathered intelligence about them.
Okay.
And but I don't think I want to structure it to 2 dice because they have so many people.
Okay, that's fair. Let's see what else we got going for us.
They certainly don't expect it.
Yeah,
That's why I said element of surprise.
Yeah, what he said, element of surprise added
so
with
we'll
a
do,
sudden
so
surge
element of
aggression.
surprise, we'll give I think another die for element of surprise. We'll call that 3.
Okay, so up to 3 because we're also being unusually proactive and aggressive.
Right. Well, and unusually proactive. I don't know about unusual. I don't think there's anything unusual about your level of aggression.
Just being aggressive.
Yeah.
Just normal aggression.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, the other group kind of gets itself a little bit gummed up in gridlock of its dysfunction, whereas our dysfunction is like this Katamari Damacy of neuroses and psychoses that just kind of rolls across town, adding everything to its, its great big.
I know I'm a little high, but I only followed about half of what you said.
Chad followed.
Katamari is
It's a ball that things stick to.
it's like a snowball effect.
Have you ever seen like in a cartoon where 2 people are fighting, they become like just
Yes.
a cloud of dust with fists coming out?
Yes.
And as that fight rolls over somebody else, you just see a third set of fists.
Right.
Imagine that.
It's literally a
except,
snowball effect.
Okay.
Yeah, except with
I've never heard that term before.
It's a video game.
it's a video game where you roll around a city and literally
You start
pick up
out really
everything.
small, picking up small things, and eventually you're picking up planets and the universe. Like
Yeah,
Weird.
it's a great game to play while you're really high.
Do you have any other major advantages?
Well, we had
Is the
little
counting
minutes
house
go
we're
to the
going
nines.
after? Is the counting house we're going after immediately in our neighborhood, or is it a ways across town?
No, it is definitely in your vicinity.
Okay, can I argue that because we have the local bluecoats subverted, because they're sort of in our payroll.
I mean, were they in our payroll? I mean, we
they're
cowed them.
okay. We've cowed them, and there's basically a mutually beneficial corruption now.
So what's interesting is that we're going to call that one a wash because the Crows actually one of the biggest allies they have is the Bluecoats.
Gotcha, okay.
So there are a number of Bluecoats that are on that payroll. Again, something I probably didn't make clear, but last game the Bluecoats were literally watching the place. We were
Burn.
watching the candy shop burn. And that's not just because of the vendetta, but it is also because of their
I see.
allegiance with
So
the
Booker's
Crows.
going to have to go from doing travel visas to doing IA.
Yeah.
So
And I, maybe that's something Booker learns in preparation is that, hey, we really thought we'd put these guys
Yep.
to the we'd put these guys, under our thumbs, but it turns out the Crows have more sway over them than
okay,
you
well
even
then
expected.
Booker switching to internal affairs. So I don't know. Without really reaching, that's all I'm coming up with. Unless you guys got anything I'm not coming up with. I mean, I could give something that are really reaching, and I'm not even going
we
to
didn't. Yeah, we
insult
didn't really
anyone's
get,
intelligence with them.
We didn't really get like any beneficial information to help us that much.
Well, I have a shady friend. Is Petra, the city clerk? Perhaps I could tap her to.
Oh, hey.
Whoa, hang on.
This is
He
a
also
family show of
licked at
criminals.
he also licked at his fingers every once in a while.
I liked it.
So yes, no.
I'll tap Petra
Jesus.
All right,
You're just a child, Eric.
we're gonna give you a die. We're going to give you a die for Petra, which I think is absolutely fair.
And advice if you want it. For right when someone does that, like they say, okay, I have this asset, a person or a thing or whatever, that I would like to say, okay, we're using this to give us a die on the engagement.
However,
I always say, okay, it's a chess piece that you're putting on the table. Like, so now it's at risk.
right.
And so, like, if you start fucking up rolls, like, what was that contact's name again?
Petra.
Petra.
Oh, what did Petra do for you? All right.
Yeah.
So I think that as far as disadvantages go, one, there is Crow's Nest, which is a large tower in the center of the district, and this particular safe house is on a street that is deliberately chosen to be within the watch of the Crow's Nest. In fact, a lot of their major assets is so they can watch them 24/7.
All right,
so I think that loses you a die.
I'm adding to my loadout one of those big, like, 2-man saws.
I mean, it's a large stone clock tower.
It is.
Currently.
You know, they have an example in the book about, like, scale and all the dice and stuff.
Yeah.
Involving one of his players saying, okay, I just want to punch this stone tower down. You can't punch a stone tower down. Well, your rules don't say I can't, so this, and this. And so they have this whole example about, like, what scale and stuff means. Like, yeah, you can try, but it just isn't.
Oh, I'm not thinking punch it down.
No,
I'm
I
thinking
know.
just start sawing off the supports.
I know, I was thinking, like,
Yeah, and then
that
just...
reminded me of that example.
Yeah, I think that is the main or single significant disadvantage that I think that they're going to bring to the table. So what does that give you? 3 dice?
Yeah, it works up to 3.
Wonderful. So you pitch those 3 dice, and we consult one of the many, many charts that Mr. Harper took from...
4 is the best I got.
4 is the best. So that is a mixed result. You are at a risky position when the action begins. So you are in a risky state when said action begins. And then obviously we talked about flashbacks. You guys know you can do for flashbacks. And I think we are ready to set. So you have, because of the intelligence that the party has gathered from various sources and plying thumbscrews, you're able to get around the various guards and lookouts now. And you're in the central area of town, so it's very heavily buildinged, right? It's got the, building upon building upon building with scaffolding, railings, clothing lines, etc. It's a pretty crowded street, except it has a wide berth, and you can see from where you're at that Crow's Nest clock tower, and you know that there are people there that are watching you.
So this is like if Minas Tirith was built in Brazil.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love it. So anyway.
Loadout.
Yeah,
Your load.
so you can... Do you do that now?
You select your load, not the items, but you say
Your
light,
loadout, right.
normal, or heavy.
Well, yeah, and obviously you guys know you're going there. You know you're going there for a specific purpose. So I don't know if you want to do heavy, light, medium.
I'm doing normal. I'm doing the medium. Myself, but that's because I'm a lover, not a fighter. So.
I will probably do normal. I'm just checking one thing before I commit to that. Because I have an item, I don't know what it does.
Is it in print? Is it italics?
What is it?
No, the electroplasmic ammunition. I'm guessing it's allowing me to shoot ghosts.
It's
But the electrical charge also does
vague.
stun people.
Yeah, it's vague, but
It does
yeah,
very
that's-
little harm. Several hits might incapacitate a human target. The ammunition is especially reactive in the ghost field. Make a 4 o'clock call to detention from spirit wardens.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't think we need to make this even worse. And we're not expecting a whole lot of ghosts, so at least not yet.
We're doing this at night, right?
I mean, isn't it always night?
I mean, doing it at darker, right?
More dark.
I was gonna say, wait, yeah.
Yeah, so
never
we're going at more dark. I guess the only real question that I have, besides Chad pointing out that we should pick your load, is this a straight up assault? Is this a talk our way into the door?
Well, we've got two
I don't need a
very
specific
stealthy
plan. Yeah.
people that probably are best not going balls out, like in the front.
In our case, would that be labia out?
Yeah.
Yeah, the choices and their suggestions are assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, transport. Oddly, I don't understand why he has transport in there, but
Like Trojan horse?
Yeah.
carry. So it's
I
stuff
would
like,
definitely want to do transporting drugs.
Yeah.
I think that, in fact, I think that being a train crew, I think that'd be kind of a fun camp.
Well, I mean, the
We would be
examples are
train
like
gang.
fighting,
Yeah.
lying, sneaking, magical, whatever.
Right.
And then transport, carry a cargo or people through danger. Detail the route.
Well, obviously, fisticuffs are a thing, right? The question is, how deep do you get in before fisticuffs
Right.
become a thing, right? And I don't care. I mean, at this point, we turn the action over to you guys. You've picked your loadout. You tell us. You tell me at this point. I don't care. I'm
mean,
Chad.
That's right.
Fucking let's go.
Then boom.
But
I don't know. What do you do?
we're the fucking jawbreakers.
Yeah, but none of us are the breakers of those jaws. None of us are cutters, which would be the most jawbreaker thing.
You bloody undersell yourself.
I mean,
Well, if you'd rescued Worth,
Worth is a
Who?
bitch. Yeah.
Why not but a matter of hours ago? I would have thought it impossible that I could shoot a leg off a demon and blow out this many windows. And yet here we are.
Weirdly, he has a point.
Yeah. Isn't he supposed to be some kind of hunter, though? He's not very good at that. So
What are
maybe
you talking about? I saw him shoot that leg off.
I just hunted
that was a-
down a child.
That was a small. That was a
That's it.
small target. A
That's it.
small moving target.
Yeah.
I'm talking, what we do.
That was really
I'm
fast.
talking, sneak like.
Yeah, he doesn't sneak,
That's what I'm saying.
especially with that big ass tiger.
That's what I'm saying. Even though I never see
Tigers are a very patient set of creatures.
They're very quiet too.
If we would like to take a slower approach, I suggest we first plant foliage around the entrance so Biter has a sufficient place to hide and pounce upon the rascals when they least expect it.
Can't he just phase through shit?
That's the long play.
The long play. Couldn't he just phase in a building?
Okay. Why don't you two sneak in? I'll talk my way in, and you cause a distraction.
Outstanding.
We do need a
We
distraction.
get everyone's strengths.
Yeah, because the crow's nest is going to be watching. So we need something. We need to turn their eyes somewhere else.
Where are we going?
Counting house, right?
so the building is relatively nondescript. It's not named. You know which building it is. You've been scoping it for some time. You've seen a number of different couriers for the crows coming and going in that particular building. What is advantageous for the crows about the particular building is the way that it is positioned in the clustering. It's like London, right? Yeah. So it's narrow streets, it's cobblestone, it's crooked, it's building upon building. So it's not labyrinthine, but it is easily defensible, presuming, people are, people are coming, right? So think of it as, even though I don't know the Vandals when they're going to come to the gate, if they come to the gate, well, I've got a moat and a drawbridge and catapults. And so the other thing is that even though this is a surprise, the crows already know that they're at war, right? So they're not complete idiots.
I would say that our approach is stealth, because my character would blend in with the crowd and slip in. You guys would sneak in. He's creating a diversion to make that all happen.
That was my point.
Yeah.
But we have two specialized stealth characters. One that's a spy, and then one that is technically a hunter.
Well,
Wow.
well, we have a sniper,
Right.
with a big tiger.
With a big tiger and a big personality. So I think stealth is the best way, because that just makes the most sense. We're not exactly the types to be going head on fisticuffs,
Right.
or more of a stabby in the back.
All right, so we're going to hit a counting house. What are we going to do? Are we going to burn it to the ground? Are we going to rob it? Are we going to all of the above? We going to assassinate the people inside?
We gotta hit them where it hurts, and that's their money.
I don't know. That sounds like a checklist to me.
Yeah.
We start at the top, work our way down.
All right, so let's do some gather information before we.
I mean, we can take some of the money, but I think we should burn it.
All right, so you're in your positions, right?
Right.
You're predetermined based on the planned positions, but we cut back to the hospital room, right? And Mabel is there. She's on some semblance of laudanum and God knows what other kind of medications. She was very, very insistent about a flask being smuggled in for her, in addition to everything else.
She's on a laudanum drip.
Yeah, and
Man.
she's getting ready to answer your question, and then starts complaining about her foot itching, and of course she's referring to the phantom limb.
I just scratched the blanket where it was.
Does that work?
No.
You're about, because phantom limb is so getting raped in the ass and phantom limb are like my two biggest fears.
They're not mine. Not each their own.
Those are some serious ones.
Especially for a man who's not had anything amputated or facing having anything amputated.
I'm
The
sorry,
likelihood
I'm
of you
derailing
ending
my
up
own
in
game.
prison is far higher than the
Well, if
likelihood
it makes you
of
feel
having
any better, they
something
do have
amputated.
ways to deal with phantom limb
thank
to make
God.
it feel like you don't have it. So.
Thank God.
So, well, do we want?
Jesus.
Does the game master want us to start in the middle of the act in the shit,
Listen,
and then we pull back, or
there's no direction to the adventure of this game. No,
All right.
I don't fucking care.
Bernard,
You guys tell me.
I'm leading off with the.
Damn it, Chad! You've rubbed off on him.
Good.
Did you see how many notes I brought?
Exactly.
That many.
An
You
appropriate
know that
amount.
tower?
Holy shit! Are you serious?
Oh, I'm dead serious.
All right. So Dan, as you're approaching the tower, the aforementioned we have a sniper, as do they, and there's this weird blue phantasmic electrophasm light that you can actually see blare up, and there's a person in the clock tower with an elongated barreled flintlock style rifle, but it's more matchlock looking. It's got some weird accoutrement or tack to the side, but it has a huge spyglass or eyeglass on the top of it that actually illuminates. It provides some sort of night vision, and the rifle fires, giving you a level 3 harm, hitting you in the chest.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to attempt to prowl such that he doesn't see me
Well,
coming.
We'll let him.
so that happens.
Yeah, so you're shot, right?
Yeah.
So what you can do is you can say, I'm going to use my prowl to resist. Just say, you know
No.
what, Mike, that shot never happened.
Not prowl. It's the up and down.
No, we're in the run now.
If, resistance roll is 1 die for each attribute. Wait a minute, I might be. Which one's the attribute? Is that up
Up
or
and down.
Up and
It'd
down.
be the same either way.
Yeah.
My prowess is 2, my prowl's 2, so it'd be the same
Yeah,
either way.
1d for each attribute die. You reduce or avoid the consequence. You take 6 stress minus the highest die roll. When you critical, you clear stress, or you can say you take it in the armor.
Just for clarification on the rules, if I understand correctly, you could just resist it with armor and say, I'm taking off armor, I didn't take that hit. Or B, you could say, actually, Mike, on my way here, he didn't actually see me. He may have caught me, but I dipped into the shadows, and so I'm going to use my stealth ability to negate that.
So whether prowess or prowl would be the same number of dice. So, all right, so 2 dice. 6?
Of course.
Fuck you, Brodor.
Yeah. So for you, 2 good things occur. One, you absolutely avoid the shot, but also he takes the shot anyway, revealing himself. And what's for you guys, you see the light flare. There's the muzzle flash and the smoke, and then it kind of fades out again. So you can see what window he's in, but the illumination is no longer. There's no actual beacon in the window any longer. So you are sneaking forward, right?
Yes.
And then you're going to do that
Yes.
thing. Fantastic. So do you want to do that? Make your roll now. Do you want to? We come
If they're
back.
waiting on me for a distraction, it's up to them. If they're going to wait
You're waiting on
until
him for distraction.
Oh, yeah, we're just
Yeah,
trying to
we're not going to make our move
All right.
until.
So the shot did ring out. Fortunately, the din of everything else going on at the city, even at this time of night, one random rifle shot is not enough to rouse too much suspicion.
Okay. So once I'm up to the base of it, I will prowl about because he's not an expert in this at all.
Oh, okay.
So he's simply just putting things down and knowing that there's going to be some sort of a brute force equal and opposite reaction.
Yeah, I think that we can both agree that it will have the distracting effect, but not the 9/11 effect.
Jesus.
Well, let's let
the dice decide. Yeah.
All right. So, and I will push myself. Was that 2 stress to get another die?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Fucking 9/11.
Yeah. Well, how about? I mean, if you want, I'll give you a devil's bargain. I'll give you another die, right? But if you fail, you're losing a hand.
Also, we are in Crowsfoot, right?
Yes.
So the trait for Crowsfoot is years of murder have made this the most haunted district. Angry ghosts crave bloodshed here. You may take a devil's bargain for 1d for violent action, but the ghost will last. The ghosts will lash out too.
I think for this one, I like the hand. Just considering your aforementioned absence of expertise, you don't have to take the devil's bargain. I'm just saying, if you want another die, I'll take 5 fingers.
5 for 1 deal.
Give the 4th of July special.
We'll call you Booker Nubbins.
The odds are so in your favor, Dan.
Oh.
Everyone's gonna think biter.
So, all right. So as long as I get, so I only lose the hand on what? A 4 and under, or a 1 through 3?
So where's the chart?
I think it'd be like 1, 2.
You're at risk. So success is technically, right, in any situation, a complication would occur. So yeah, I think 1 through 3. If you don't get a 4 or higher, I think that you lose the hand for sure.
I'll take it. All right. 4 dice.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is just character development if you lose a hand.
Oh my God, he lost the hand! I'm skipping Bach.
Okay. Well, Bach, I don't think we need to roll, right? I think that with
No, I'll take the roll again.
All right,
I'll take the roll. I took the bargain. I'll take the set. I earned my box, so I want the reroll.
I love it. No, it's yours. I was just going to give it to you.
Much better.
There we go. All right.
For listeners, he rolled 2 1s and 2 2s.
Oh, that would have been delightful. Delightful. God damn it. Well, all right, but you have the box.
That honestly would have been kind of cool, and you probably could have played that off pretty well in character.
All right, so you do it, but there's a consequence. You
Wait, I was
suffer.
suggesting one. Give me 1 second to
Oh,
rinse out.
please. Oh, I love it.
You
Okay.
could have a hook hand.
A one-handed sniper is not ideal.
One-handed sniper is no different than 2.
Oh, are you kidding? It's
One-
so-
yeah,
It's got a fork and a bipod. He's
Yeah.
different rifle attachments.
He's only shooting with one
like
hand.
like a Giselle from the friggin' what are the rat people from Warhammer called?
Skaven.
Thank you.
That's my suggestion for the complication.
Oh. All right. So let me ask this then, because it was it something that you're throwing or a
Oh,
directional?
no. This is not a hand grenade.
Oh, right. So when you're saying it falls
No, I
into.
mean-
So all right. So I guess the question is, I don't know if it large enough to. I don't know if that explosion's big enough to take the whole building. That's
Are you
where
trying to blow up the tower?
he is.
Knock it over.
Well, let me read you what the tower is.
Yeah.
Because
We should
I
probably
don't think
voice
there's
that too.
Yeah, 'cause I don't think there's anything that a person can carry on them that would take it down.
That's my
So
that's my
it's-
question as well. I don't think that
We're talking about the crow's nest.
we're talking about something that would take out a tank tread,
Yeah.
not even out a tank, right?
This thing, the dot is the size of a building. Crow's nest, an ancient tower from before the cataclysm that has been a ritual sanctum, an astronomer's laboratory, and a blue coat watch post before its current role as the headquarters of the district's chief gang, the Crows.
Okay, different complication suggestion.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going down.
Okay, so hang on.
Yeah, on the map, it's pretty big.
Massive, yeah.
In fact, I would say it's bigger than the candy shop. It's
100% is bigger than the can. Look at, like, some of these buildings take up an entire block. This one is in the center of all of them, and it's...
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that you have now drawn the attention of, well, the entirety of the Crow headquarters, which that's one hell of a distraction.
It's probably like the size of, like, Big Ben.
Yeah.
Which is
That,
pretty fucking big.
Different
that
request.
is an attack that they were not...
Expecting.
That seems like a benefit for you.
For me personally, maybe.
That seems like a benefit for the PCs. So let me counter with something less drastic.
I love not knowing what the fuck
Here's
it
my
was.
complication.
My complication is you reach in the table and give me a hand job.
let me try this for complication. You have reduced effect. In that, do you cause the distraction? Absolutely. But the actual damage to the building itself is negligible in terms of
Can at
damage.
least break some windows and have the sniper fall.
How is that a complication for you? How does that hurt you?
He falls on him.
How is that? And that's not even a minor complication. That's a major fucking benefit. That's a critical success. Dan fells the sniper. No,
He Oklahoma bombs the fucking crow's nest, and half the building's gone.
I failed. So here's what's going to happen: the crow's leader dies. Okay, but his ghost is loose.
Right.
I just happen to have fantastic fucking ammo. It's okay.
Seriously, that's amazing. I'm gonna let's go.
Okay. Are Blue Coats showing up?
So-
Go with that?
I don't. So
The
here's
downside is he didn't succeed the first
So
time.
here's the thing, and if I didn't do a good job of establishing it, I apologize. The Bluecoats are their allies, particularly in the war situation, given the relationship with the Jawbreakers
Right,
versus the
but
police.
because of what I just did, they are now coming to my location.
That's absolutely great.
Okay.
I love that because that is a complication. Because I think open gang war is not something that you can have.
Not on a stealth mission.
Yeah, too much. So here's the situation for you guys. I mean, it's too dark. You hear the report of the rifle shot. You see the flare.
Did we know ahead of time that he was going to do that?
You knew he was going to
would
create a
tell us.
distraction.
Well, yeah, but like,
Wait for my sign.
did we see
Boom!
it with
I guess that's the
a big
sign.
amount of fucking explosives? Like,
So, you had what, a regular, medium, heavy loadout?
No, it was normal. I swapped the armor for basically this.
He was wearing a normal loadout. I don't know how obvious those explosives were. Right, but that's beside the point. The point is that you didn't know. The explosion goes off. Boom! There you are. Signal.
holy fuck.
All right, so we're on top of.
You tell me where you're at. You have many options.
All right, so the surrounding buildings. Mm-hmm. We're on one of the high buildings that are.
We're trying to
higher
get into the nest, or we're trying to get into a building
Yeah.
near the nest?
Totally. So again, I don't have the picture in front of me, but you've got 4 or 5 story tall areas that aren't necessarily even just buildings, but there are scaffoldings and walkways and bridges between stuff. It's very much like running around the rooftops in Witcher. So
Oh.
We are trying to get into an adjacent building, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Not the tower. Okay.
yeah, so
Because the tower is like itself in a.
Yeah,
like,
The tower
some
is
of-
not the target.
some of
No,
the things
yeah.
are so narrow that you could practically just step from one roof to the next. Now it's a multiple story drop that could kill you if you shit the bed. But
Right.
yeah. Anyway,
You're never going to shit the bed.
So,
Why would you?
That's not
you know,
our problem.
we have the scene of Booker. Was that a shot that you did, or what was
It was an explosion. He
Yeah.
used demolitions.
All right, so it was a demo charge.
Yeah, a sniper fired at him as he was trying to sneak up, and then he caused an explosion.
All right. So, and then the camera, the scene cuts to Janny like resting her hands like she's inside an apartment, resting her hands on and elbows.
I'm in the
on
background fixing. I'm like doing my nails.
Right. We're in like an apartment overlooking the counting house, and behind little
Garrett.
little Garrett.
Little G.
Little G, yeah. And behind little Garrett is the family of 4 that we've tied up. And we're co-opting their apartment building. And as soon as the explosion goes off, I go, that's it. That's a
Oh my
sign.
God.
And I grab the what do they call that? The clothesline that
Right.
they have, and I just start sliding across it to go to the building.
Love it.
I follow out the window.
And then landing on top of the building, we're gonna go. And then as we both land, I reach into my pouch and I pull out a rolled up piece of paper and I unroll it, and then flashback. However many stress for this flashback goes back to me sitting on the end of Petra's bed, staring at her lovingly and saying, "So, are you 100% certain this is the map of the building we wanted?"
In ordinary action, which would easily zero stress, easy opportunity for you. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, no stress.
And
at all.
I'm like just like sitting, I'm like staring lovingly as I'm like giving her a foot massage. So,
Nice.
She
rub
says,
that
she
corn.
says, I absolutely am positive.
all right, because I don't want to go into this building and find out, this is the
Damn, what did we make?
the
What
wrong
did we
one.
make, Wayne?
No, it's the right one. I promise you.
Okay,
Oh, right there.
I like digging my knuckle into like between her toe.
Oh.
Nice.
All right, so then now I unroll this piece of paper that smells oddly of feet, and I say,
Oh, do you have cheese in that? Oh,
I pull a piece of cheese out of it.
oh God!
So
It's
gross.
mozzarella. Yeah, and I'm like by the light of the lamp that's closest, I kind of show you, and I go, all right, the skylight is over here to where we want to be, and it's a map. It's like a city planning map.
I'm holding my nose because this paper's real gross. Okay. Yeah. All right. Where's our entry point?
I point, and then that's where we cut to. whatever.
We cut to
So-
Silas.
So, Silas, and I'm going to check something off here. I'm going to check my Find Disguise kit. So, Silas is at the back room of not the back room, the back door of the counting house, the building. And he's smoking a cigarette, and he lights the cigarette of one of the crow guards. And he's just talking, and he is dressed as a crow. And he's just chatting with them about, day-to-day stuff. Gang war's really heating up.
So, Silas, one of the things you notice that there's a lot of guys walking the street, watching the building from the back.
Yeah.
And they're not crows. They look like off-duty bluecoats.
They
anyway.
smell bacon.
Yeah, you smell bacon for sure.
All right. I yell, "Are you a cop? You have to answer."
You have to tell me.
Damn it! Yeah. God, I love the Constitution.
You have to.
They're like, it doesn't even work that way. I mean, literally, it's okay for me to lie to you. Look, countless people have been sent to prison because of my ability to lie to you.
But now I know.
We didn't do it,
No.
by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's there. He's dressed up as a crow, talking to a couple of the guys at the back door. Sure, he came up like, "Hey, got a smoke?" No, I don't. It's like, "Oh wait, no, I found some." Yeah, he takes out some nice tobacco, lights up. Yeah, here's turn around, and he's just doing his thing. And there's that bang. He just like, "Oh, I wonder what that was." Boom! And he looks at the guys. "Holy shit! You better go check that out." And he Would you like a sway roll?
I think sway is perfect. I was going to say persuasion, but it's the wrong system. Sway is
is.
perfect, Chad. You of course anticipated.
Excellent.
Are we on sway or is it still resolved?
No, it's this.
No, we
We're
should be on the score.
score.
So yeah, it should
Yeah.
be. It
Resistance
should be,
is up and down.
It should be horizontal,
Yeah.
not vertical.
Gotcha.
All right, so I'm not used to looking at character sheet because there's hints on here. So we are in risky, and
You are indeed.
I am going to push myself. So how many is that?
That is 2 stress, if I'm not
That's
mistaken.
a pin. I'm not using that. Thank you. So I'm going to do that, and then that gets me another die. I got a 5.
Well, that's a success with a complication, correct?
That's right. Yep.
All right. I think here is what we're going to do. Consequence, harm, complication. Anybody have any ideas for a complication for Chad? Chad, what do you think goes wrong?
What I think goes wrong is all
Fake
the
mustache falls off.
all the guards but one run away, and he's still there.
Yeah, because he's just got good discipline, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, no, perfect. Yeah, so the guards, everybody peels except for one.
The old guy.
Yeah, one grizzled blue coat that doesn't look like he's got much of a hankering for running anywhere anytime, but he does look like he enjoys putting his fist in another human's face.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you said
That
face.
is just
Face.
Famous.
His famous.
So
Fist your famous. You know?
he watches them.
No,
No, thank you.
He watches them all run away, and he turns around, and he almost does a double take. He didn't notice the guy. The guy's so old and experienced in not being noticed. Not because he's some super stealth guy, but because no one will tell him to get to work.
Right.
The guy's a veteran.
He's 3 days from retirement.
He is.
Hey, I'm too old for this shit.
Silas turns around and he almost does it like, whoa, shit, sort of thing. But he plays it cool, and he's like, well, better go tell the boys inside. I'll get right to that. And he goes to open the door like
3 days from retirement.
fucking
Chad.
belongs
Okay,
there. Yeah.
so you go to open the door, and his big, heavy, calloused hand grabs your wrist, right? He leans in, and he's got this yellow, stained mustache and beard from years of tobacco.
Yeah.
He's got terrible, terrible gingivitis and shit breath like a smoker, because I smoke a lot of weed, I know. And he looks at you, and he says, password. And then we cut to Dan. Back to Booker.
I'm super interested in this fucking guard now.
What's this guy's story?
What's this guy's story? What's he got going on?
Can we play the crows? I can't.
So
Rufus.
explosion
You know what I'm
has occurred,
Nice.
Yeah.
and the scene is yours.
All right, so I'm going to move away from where the explosion was and find some place nearby to hide where I have a view of the people coming to check out the explosion.
Love it. Okay, perfect, absolutely. So you're going to move and put yourself in a position where you're hiding. So let me ask this as far as the game, because for me, just as a game master adjudicating, I don't think Dan needs to roll anything right now. Like, he just goes and he hides, right?
Yeah, I mean it's up to you.
Yeah, no, he could get some sort of complication, but I don't know. I think for me that kind of fucks up the flow of the game.
I mean, I kind of like what Dogs in the Vineyard, the advice they give on it. Either say yes or have them roll.
Right. Well, I think the answer is yes. You find a perfectly good hiding position to observe or have overwatch on individuals that come check that out.
Yeah.
And to your surprise, it is not a door that they come out, but there's a window slit. It's not quite an arrow slit. It's broader than that, certainly broad enough easily for a human being who's not obese to fit through. And you see 2 people come out very rapidly after ropes, right? So you'll see a rope descend, a rope descend, and you see a couple people and start to rappel down the side, and you have two gorgeous silhouette targets in the moonlight that are very casually, you could see.
Oh my god, shoot the rope.
That's what I was going to
Yes.
do. I want to shoot the rope.
All right, well, now that's a pretty challenging shot, but I say fire away, man.
2 3s. So,
The failure.
Sweep the leg.
you suffer harm. A complication occurs. You have in a desperate position. You lose the opportunity.
Things go bad.
I will go to a desperate position because the shot missed, and now they know where I am. They saw the.
I love that. So you end up in a desperate position. Now that says, comma, you lose this opportunity. That is a different complication, correct? So don't you then roll again, basically like you're doubling down?
Well,
I took it as that's a list of options. I mean, because this is like or
His-
and, which is
it's kind of stupid because his writing style is not consistent.
Yeah.
And so sometimes he does lists like that and he doesn't put an and an or
Right.
modifier in there.
Right.
And sometimes he does. And so it's really hard to tell.
Gotcha. So Dan ends up, so you end up in a desperate position. I love that. So they absolutely know where you are, right? And so, yes, sir.
I have a question. So
Far away.
are you going to do it like I do it, where it's blades light? Are you doing it like you do it? Or I'm sorry, not you do it.
Is
Where,
everybody going to have their own levels?
yeah. Blades, rules as written is everybody has their own levels.
Yeah.
The way I run it is there is a global risk.
My preference is to let each person have their own situation,
Perfect.
so they can press their own luck or look at their own. Like, you know what? Fucking, I'm going to desperate.
Yeah,
right?
I think it
Phenomenal.
makes more sense in this situation too because we're not even near each other.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
If we were
dude.
together, I think it'd all be.
Yeah, I think that I like that. Even if you're together, I like the opportunity for each of you to have. the
Maybe you're just
option.
like in a better space,
Right,
Even
right.
though you're standing right next to
Yeah.
somebody. Yeah, no, it makes sense.
All right, so Dan, they are aware of your position. Well, so then we'll cut back to the lovely ladies.
All right, so I have light. I took a normal load, so I take my light climbing gear, and we are slowly descending from the skylight that we
Man,
picked.
climbing gear takes 2 fucking boxes.
Normal does, but if you take the light climbing gear under your items, it only takes one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's not in
This
italics.
sheet's different than the one I use normally, so it's like when I look at it, it's like, where the fuck is stuff?
Yeah. So I took light climbing gear, so I'm just zipping down as fast as I can from this skylight that we picked the lock from, going down into the.
Yeah, it makes sense for us both to have climbing gear. I'm gonna take light.
And when I get down to the bottom, I kind of roll and get into a hidden position, waiting for her to come down, and then I'm like, looking around.
So as you're heading down, before you head down, you open the skylight, and even though it is a few stories below you, you can hear that there are a couple people having conversation in the marble lobby. It's the marble floor lobbyway inside this building. It's actually much nicer on the interior than it is on the exterior, and you realize it must have been, I don't know.
It's like a bougie Doctor Who.
So it's not larger on the inside like my
just
butthole. But,
Yeah, Doctor Whom.
but there's a couple people in there. You can't see them, and you can't make out their voices, but you know that there are people in there talking.
Let's say we're doing like a Mission Impossible 2. I'm actually lowering you in.
Okay, there you go.
I'm anchored and I'm lowering you.
All right, right.
So, I'm like going belly down,
Ethan
like
Hunt style.
Ethan Hunt style, and I kind of reach back and go tug to the free to stop me because now there's people there, and
Ask her if she's been eating too many desserts.
Yeah, it's so funny because we're both super small. Really, like
Yeah.
you're a little girl and I'm all of 115 pounds or something.
right. All right, so what with gather information? There's a certain number of questions on here. Is that something I just say I'm gathering information, meaning I'm like observing, or is it?
Can I see the character sheet? 'Cause I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I think it's like a workflow.
Yeah, it's like, what do they intend to do?
That-
How can I get to them?
That might even be
What should I look
a
out for?
downtime thing
What's the best way in?
specifically.
Where can I hide here?
Yeah, fuck, I don't care. Throw it at me. What's the question?
How can I find X?
Well, I just want to know.
36.
It's kind of weird because I've never thought to even ask questions like this to a GM because I feel like this is stuff you should like role play out.
Yeah.
Like, how can I find this? Why would you ask that? Shouldn't you have to figure that out
Well,
yourself?
you're asshole. You use both hands. And
Wide swings.
All right, so I'm just. I stop her from lowering me down, and I'm just listening to what they're saying.
all right. So the conversation is very crass. I'm not gonna role play with myself in front of the audience, but there's obviously a woman with some sort of very severe speech impediment and a man who is trying to solicit her for prostitution.
I was just. Oh, never mind.
It turns out that she was at one time a prostitute, but she seems to have no interest in engaging in that kind of employment any longer because she's now a money counter. And then you hear a small door thing slam, and you realize it's not a door; it's the little visor on the opposite side of some kind of security door, as if they were talking on opposite sides of the security door, and she slammed the little window on him.
You said speech impediment, I thought.
I just read the gather information rules.
Yeah.
I know how it works.
Oh, awesome.
And it is so gather information happens during a score. Investigation is like downtime long-term projects.
Gotcha.
And you can ask a number of questions, and if it's common knowledge, like
Like, what do I see?
who's the leader of the crows,
Right.
sort of thing, you don't even roll for, you just kind of get that.
Right.
The game master answers every question is answered honestly, and the roll dictates the level of detail. You're going to be shocked, a little chart here.
What?
I
Stop
know.
it.
They have example questions. The questions are attached to what action you roll. So if Janny asks, are there any ghosts here? Janny would roll a tune. But if Janny's asking, how many crows are down there that are like fighters, not just servants or accountants, sort of getting the feel for the place, that would be like a study or a survey or something like that.
I gotcha.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And it just takes time. So the more questions, the more time, the more rolls, the more chance of
Got it.
bad things happening.
Yeah, so certainly then let me retcon for a moment. Then before the conversation breaks, I'll certainly, if you want to do a gather information roll to overhear, maybe you'll learn information about the facility from them during that conversation.
All right, so my gather information question is before this John tries to talk to this hair-lipped chick, does he mention any kind of a password or something to get her to open the door?
So the short answer is yes.
Okay.
It's mirror.
But I need to roll.
Oh, sorry. You have to roll. Of course.
And this I would assume is
I'm so pro player that I just want to give you success
So
and answers.
each question takes time.
Right.
The more detailed or whatever the question is, the longer it takes.
Right.
Right. All right. So I'm assuming I'm using survey for this.
I love it.
Yep. That's the most common one, they said.
I have one dice in survey.
So I'll give you another die.
Okay.
But obviously, if you fail, something happens with the rope. You slip.
It
there's
sounds like a
noise.
devil's bargain.
Yeah, yeah, devil's bargain. That's where I'm at. I'm happy to give you a second die. if you
I
wanna
will
do
take that devil's bargain.
What's the devil's bargain?
That they're if he shits the bed, they're gonna. Excuse me. If she shits the bed, they're gonna notice her.
She's gonna fart.
Okay. I'll allow
Wait,
it.
all that cheese. What are you talking about?
Uncle Treacle would have farted. That would have been his advantage.
He would have
know.
dropped a stink screen.
Smoke screen.
Oh my God, Treacle's here! Get the gas mask.
4.
Whoa! Why don't you guys roll this one I brought?
Yeah, that is. So
We like
again,
way more than
and that
you.
is we started in risky position, correct? So you either have reduced effect, or you suffer a harm or a complication, or you can move from this good position to a desperate position.
And so, because it was a success, it is a standard success. So you get good details, clarifying follow-up questions if possible.
Oh, sure.
Great. There's great. You get exceptional details. The information is complete, and follow-up questions makes blah blah blah. And then there's limited. You get incomplete or partial information. More gathering will be needed.
So 4 is
Four is you get
It's
good
his
details,
success,
clarifying, and follow-up questions are possible.
So,
He does not have to actually tell you what the password is. He could give you don't quite hear it, but the guy walks out of the room and you can follow him.
Says her name
Yeah,
or some sort of,
or it's a cipher. Like it's some weird crazy ass fucking language, and so you know it, but you'll be damned if you can pronounce it.
Or you read lips and it looks like olive juice. You're not really
it's
sure.
it's stuff like that.
Yeah.
interesting. So, but again, if you read that, if I heard you correctly, he gets an answer.
He gets an answer that
proper
is true.
information. Right.
Yep.
So
Is the level of detail.
Or so here's what we're going to do, because it is still provides minor complication, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make this little clock here, and this little clock is just going to be, I'm going to draw a little hourglass here, and this is just going to be a little timer with a little thing going down here, and I'm just going to fill in one of these little things on my hourglass, and he, in the course of their conversation, he uses the passphrase marigold, and she says, I don't care if you know the password, I'm not opening this fucking door.
Ooh.
It could be
There's a non-zero chance that marigold isn't the password.
Yeah.
Man, marigold could be the hoe.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it could be your
Or
name.
but it leans pretty heavily that it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's freaky.
So that is the information.
Damn.
That's
You said she
good.
used to hoe. I might if I was the one on the rope, I might have known who it was.
Maybe.
So then marigold, right? Now you still have an action. I don't know how you want. You're just holding.
I don't know.
holding the
Yeah,
rope
I don't
there.
know
You're
really
good?
what I could do. I'm kind of holding the rope. So
Okay.
You could assist on a future roll maybe too.
I don't know how I'd set that up from where I'm at. Though,
Right.
Right.
That's fair.
While I'm holding, I'm just going to make sure that the anchor is ready for when I need to go down. I guess.
Got it. All right.
One thing that I would like to throw in here, maybe as something that we could work from moving forward, is that little Garrett and Janny have kind of this like a secret language that
Yeah,
we
like an
use.
unspoken language.
Right, and so it's based off of taps, almost like a Morse code or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So we can communicate with each other from either at a distance or
Maybe
whatever.
you're doing it through the rope.
And that's what I'm doing on the rope. Is I'm just telling her, one person or two people, one person not
Yeah.
seen. That
Yeah,
kind
I
of
love
thing.
that.
I love it. All right.
And she's holding the rope so she can feel it.
so she can feel the.
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, then back to Silas. Silas, so he has grabbed your wrist and asks you for a password.
I stop. My back's to him. His big giant ham is on my shoulder, and I stop. I smile and I kind of blink a couple of times, and then I turn around and I look him right in the eye,
Oh no!
and I use my mesmerism
Nice
on
being
him.
ensorcelled. I love it.
Because it's not just like talking around. We said that his mesmerism is like hit a power.
Yeah, no, you're like a classic mesmerist sort of thing.
I'm not even telling him. I'm not even saying anything. I'm just like
putting the whammy on
I'm
him.
putting the whammy on him. So
I like how this works too. It's kind of
yeah. So I mean, technically speaking, when you sway someone, you may cause them to forget that it's happened until the next time they interact with you.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm using that, which does not actually help me with the sway roll.
No, but the
Yeah.
idea is that you're putting the mesmerism on him to let you
He's
walk
like-
through
Yep.
as if you've given him the password.
Yep.
Right.
because he's like stunned. He can't really do it.
Yeah. He's just so all right. I am not going to push myself because I'm about halfway on my stress. So that's just 2.
I saw that. Yeah.
Are you gonna any devil's bargain? What are you putting on offer here?
I didn't have one strike me with inspiration.
That's what I run into a lot too. Is people like, oh, hey, how about Devil's Bargain? And I'm like, you're literally rolling to pick your nose.
Right.
So I don't know. The devil does not care about your nose.
The only Devil's Bargain that I have for you, you're currently at risky. I would give you a die. But then you would receive, essentially, he would do to you a severe harm as opposed to a standard harm.
I'm in.
For you not knowing the password. All right, so here we go. So if you fail severe harm.
Now this is fail, right? Not. So I have to get a 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, yeah. This is not, with complication.
Hey, 5.
All right, so
you do it. You suffer a harm. A complication occurs. You have a reduced effect. You end up in desperate position. But I do it. Like I said, I kind of blink. I focus myself for a minute. Silas, who is whatever face he needs to be in the situation he needs it to be, suddenly his face drains and he is deadly serious. And he he stares into his soul. Doesn't say anything. And the guy lets go of him. And he turns and he walks in the door. Now, complication, though.
Oh, we're good.
Okay.
We're good, yeah. Excellent. Complication occurs. You're fine.
Excellent.
So you open the door, you step inside, and it is very similar to an airlock to an airlock on a ship, right? There's a door. One door closes. There's another door in front of you
trap.
that doesn't open up, but they hear the door open, close. Guy, security's garbage, right? He just opens it up, sees you dressed as Crow, opens up the second door, lets you in, and there is an open area. There's an open room. There's a big foyer toward the front door. There's a skylight that there's not a lot of illumination coming in because it's nighttime, but there are lanterns, lights, what have you inside the room. And you hear the tail end of a conversation of one of the other security guards,
right,
and a woman on the opposite side of a door that you knew, or actually no, you have the plan, so never mind, you don't have a dick.
No.
But you are absolutely inside the room, but there's it's kind of a weird smell inside down here. You're not sure, it's not body odor, but there's there's like a tang in the air.
Like it's weird. It's not the musk of a lot of guys wearing armor for 8 hours smell that I'm used to.
It doesn't smell like a locker room. There's just like a weird sourness in the air.
Okay.
So back to Booker. Booker, you took your shot. They noticed you. They're on the ground. Obviously, they're less concerned about the explosion than the rifle report, and so they're going to start moving in your direction.
What we need over in the counting house is less people in the counting house. We need more distraction.
Okay. Well, first I've got to get to a place where I can work. So 2 things are going to happen. I am going to prowl to try and ditch them and, get back into hiding. They're not going to be, I realize this isn't Skyrim. I can't hide for 30 seconds and they forget me.
Just put a bucket on their head.
But at least far enough away that, they've lost the immediate trap. The other thing going on is Biter is going to go ghost form and he is going to begin hunting from behind the 2 individuals that are pursuing me.
Right. Okay. Absolutely brutal. So let's do the cat first. Let's do Biter and attacking.
So Biter is
first.
hunting the 2 individuals that are pursuing me. 6.
So there's terrible scream. In fact, the scream is so loud and blood curdling that the 3 of you hear it. In addition to the security guard that is there, he turns and goes to the front door to look out into the street, right? So that security guard, he exits the room. So one guard, one crow, right, one thug is obviously felled. The other one shrieks in terror and starts to run away as the other one is being ragged out on the ground.
Biter is going to ghost form and take off, letting that one go back.
Okay.
Because the idea that there is a
Right.
The idea there's some kind of supernatural force out here hunting them.
Right.
He wants to spread fear.
Oh, we can.
So he's absolutely.
You don't have Tinker.
Biter's going to let him go.
Right. Fair enough.
Well, the one's dead. He's letting the other one
Right.
go. He's not going to run him down.
Right, he's going to let him
Well, I don't have
scream
any
back to the
Yeah,
tower.
exactly.
As he stirs up his robe, help! Help!
Yeah.
You know, yeah, sure.
And his just
got
carrying
the
on about how
double
there's some kind of ghost out here or something is exactly what he wants.
Wait,
Okay.
I
Meanwhile,
used to
Booker is going to
But no,
try
I
and
switched it up.
prowl his way back to hiding.
Using that as
I
much.
got a 5.
Which is
I've seen,
perfect.
Like having those.
So you succeed. You blend back into the shadow.
Yeah.
At this point, there are a few neighboring buildings that you notice, Dan, or should I say the Booker notices that there are a few neighboring buildings on either side of the street that people are starting to come out of with various cudgels, knives, pistol, chains, stuff like that, and it looks like crows that are living on the street. Security is kind of coming into the street, and they're looking in that direction toward the yelling, the screaming, and of course the settling dust from the explosion and a couple of rifle reports. So a lot of attention on the street is getting drawn toward that. Obviously, you two see what you see as the police officer scurries out of the building and into the street.
All right. Then I give the tap of all clear. That means drop me all the way down.
Yep.
So, and then I just settle the. Well, you either climb down that rope or whatever. It doesn't matter.
I am
So that way you
walking-
don't go ahead and climb down that rope. So that way you don't have to use one of your load for light climbing gear unless you have to use it later.
Oh, I still have it. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. That
I'm
makes sense.
walking towards the locked door as if that is my job and I should be there. And why would you think otherwise? Janny just goes bloop, right down next to me, and I just
And we just like in lockstep.
No, it's perfect. Yeah, like a well-oiled machine,
Yeah,
not even really
like
acknowledging the
Ocean's
presence
11,
of you.
walking through the casino.
yeah, it's just like I'm walking to this point and I have my pocket watch out and I just go click as I step on a black tile. The tile doesn't mean anything, but the moment I step on the black tile, the watch hand goes click, Janny goes boop, and then we just
Beautiful. Absolutely. Absolutely beautiful. All right. The closer you get to the door, that odor's a little bit more pungent.
All right, and then I reach over and grab Silas's hand as if we were, like he's my dad or older brother or something, and I look up to him and I just say, "Marigold."
he kind of gives a nod and we walk to the thing and Silas has his hand out as if he's expecting the door to be unlocked and open, and he goes to touch it.
All right. So the door doesn't have it has just a standard handle,
Okay.
not a knob. It obviously pushes in. The hinges are obviously on the other side of the wall, right?
Right.
So you would just push the door forward. When you go to push it, it is absolutely locked.
He takes the handle and it goes click, as it pushes against the bolts, and you feel his hand like tighten around yours, and he goes, "Where's little Garrett?"
I just kind of, with my eyes, I look up.
So, meanwhile, I actually use so before I even come down, I'm actually going to go through the walls with my ghost veil.
I love it.
And I'm going to go behind that door and open it. So I was a little behind. Maybe I was waiting for somebody to pass.
Oh
or
no!
something.
Let's retcon it. He goes up and he touches the door.
No, I like that it ruins your whole
click.
I like that
your
it
timing's
actually.
off, so then the pocket watch goes to the next minute, and
it
like
shows the
noise
pocket watch go click.
You're in this really cool moment, and then it's completely ruined by me having to wait for somebody.
So you step to the other side using your what is that ability even called?
Ghost veil.
All right. So you use
It puts me into the what is it called?
The ghost field.
Yeah.
That's like shadow walking or the
Into
ethereal plane or
the
something
ghost
like in
field.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
And
So it
is
basically makes me a ghost.
is it just a brief thing, or do you stay in a ghost form?
I stay in it. Let's see. You take 2 stress for the shift, plus 1 stress for each extra feature, which is
So,
assuming
yeah, like-
it lasts a few minutes rather
like
than moments.
Okay.
you can shift and do a basic thing, and then it lists features.
Yeah.
You can do okay. You shift, and you can do this, and you can do this, and you can do this for each, and you take another stress.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So in the ghost realm, I perceive that your sense of smell is null, right?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Your vision's probably fairly clear. I think hearing is maybe a little echoey, not quite underwater, but
Do you see, like, if I'm in the ghost, like, if I'm in the ghost field, do I see other ghosts? Since I'm just passing through it, like, with the veil? I don't know how that works.
I think
mean, I don't know.
I think the short answer is abso-fucking-lutely.
Is this place
Yeah.
super haunted?
Yeah.
According to the
The
thing,
tower-
the book is super fucking
Yeah,
haunted.
well,
yeah.
this whole area is not.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe that's what I was hiding from. Maybe
Right.
that's what I was waiting for, like, to pass through or something.
Yeah.
But
Because
when-
you're on their
To not get
turf now.
attention, not
Yeah.
get attention from ghosts.
Yeah, when you step through, there are two people on the other side of this small room. There is a second heavy security door in this room. There's a small card table with just some, random, not proper mechanical coin, but just some coin on the table, some cards. There's obviously a lantern in the room. There is a large rifle on the wall. It's a volley gun. So think of a short barrel musket with one barrel, and then there are another half dozen barrels all the way around it. So it's like a giant. It's actually used for anti-boarding. So if you're on a boat and their boarders are coming over, it's like, hey, well, here's 760 caliber balls, boom, right on the wall, hanging above this guy who is a little unattractive. He's a little bit worse for wear. He has these terrible sores
Good God.
all over his face.
Well, that's little Garrett's type.
Fuck it.
So he has these open red lesions, this sort of ratty nose.
Syphilis
that-
Sal.
So those are in fact syphilitic ulcers that have taken over his face. But syphilitic ulcers have also concaved the face of the woman in the room with him. And that is what is causing the smell. Now you're on the other side of the door, but if you are not in spirit
You
form,
really just wanted syphilitic something to
that
happen.
that prostitute is actually the prostitute that stabbed Rasputin. That she tried to kill him. She failed, but her whole nose like that was all caved in from syphilis.
Rassi.
Yeah.
What the fuck, bro? Really?
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got a type.
I mean, Rasputin was fucking like royalty and shit. Why the fuck was he messing with this bitch?
So
No, he was fucking royalty. There's a difference. That's why he was.
Now
wasn't that
I'm-
ultimately why he was killed?
And now I'm aroused.
Among
fucked that-
many things. He was
Yeah.
he was a horrible.
he
human
fucked like a
being.
duchess or something, or
Yeah.
a queen or some shit.
anyway, both of them absolutely, utterly ravaged from syphilis.
Jesus fuck, dude. What the fuck were you doing? I know. Why do I feel like this was a late night Google search that, or a hole that he was going to?
It was a late morning Google search, maybe between 10 or 11 a.m. Anyway,
It was his bookmarked syphilis tab. I knew this would come in handy. Finally, my time is
there's
come.
a reason. There's a whole method to my madness. I promise.
Jenny looks up at Silas and says, "It smells like Worth's room in there."
I feel so bad for
Fuckworth.
All right. So you have slipped on the other side. They don't notice you. 'Cause, I mean, if you don't see ghosts, I presume that I would not see a lurk in ghost form, right? So without a spirit mask or some shit.
Oh yeah, no, I'm
That,
invisible.
that stands to reason. So the two of them are in that room, and you see both of them
Yeah, because it
are
even says you
alerted
were invisible rather than shadow.
when Silas grabs the door and rattles the handle, realizing that it's locked. Both of them turn to go and look toward the door. Obviously, they're surprised that someone's rattling at it. Let's cut back to Booker.
Okay, so I've got people coming at me from everywhere, so I got to find some other place out, some other way out of here. Okay, Byer's going to go and hunt another random person just to try and seed chaos and fear in as many places at once.
Okay.
So we'll roll for that first. Got a 4. So that's going to be you do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer severe harm, or serious complications occur, or you have reduced effect. I'll go with her. Actually, when he comes material, they're actually fighting him meaningfully. So it's not, just this tiger goes to pounce, but one of these guys actually in the adrenaline or whatever sidesteps it and
actually harms him.
Yeah, maybe harms them or even just tangles them up.
Let's call it a level 1 harm, because it's not like you failed egregiously, right? It's just suffer a harm. So he'll take a level 1 harm laceration from someone's knife.
The way I always ran hounds, and again, this is just unsolicited advice,
Sure.
is the hound and the pet are the same
Yeah,
thing.
they're the same thing.
So basically Dan...
Yeah, so
Yeah, he's not 2 characters. He's
Right.
one.
he's
character.
one character. So Biter takes a harm. Dan writes it on his harm.
So
track.
regardless, it's a level 1 harm that goes on your character sheet. But narratively, the damage is done to Biter.
Yeah,
right?
I have noted these. Okay.
Right.
So simultaneously, I am continuing
Same
to
stress.
try and prowl as best as I can out of this tightening noose of hooligans, trying to find a way to break out. And I don't know if that's going to be a good line of hedges, or if that's going to be a manhole, or just something.
Oh, there's sewer is absolutely an option for you.
Then that's what I'm going to go for.
We did really well last time we went in the sewers.
Good luck.
I'm going to see if I can prowl into a sewer without being noticed, because that's going to be my best way to build some distance.
But they may not even follow you.
They're like, no, fuck that shit.
You know what? I'm going to throw in some stress to get an additional die there. So I'll roll 3rd die. 6. Okay.
Nice.
Much better.
Well spent. Well spent. So in the confusion, there's a tense moment just when you think you're about to be discovered, and then the person who's about to turn and make visual contact with you is distracted by the howling of Biter, and then goes to turn to help and engage in that encounter with the tiger, which provides you the opportunity to slip into the pitch black, odoriferous darkness of the Duskval sewer. All right, so back to you two. You're on the opposite side of the wall. You're together. You're holding hands. The door does not open.
Can
Are they, so hold on, before, are they like alerted in a way?
So they know somebody's on the other side of the door. They don't know who it is. All they know
it's
is
not
that
time for
somebody
someone to be
came up
there?
and went, "Go," and then, or I should just say, "Go," and the door didn't open. And so they just were like, huh. Imagine if that door was closed and somebody was just like, tried to open it. We would all be like,
Because I was what I was gonna do, because if they're like alerted now, there's no point. Because what I was gonna do is sneak to the door and use my silence potion on the door.
Oh,
No, silence potion is what you drink it, and then it's like everything.
No, you
around-
can put it on stuff. I thought it created like a space.
It's
of
like
no
it says
sound.
it's like a golden
Shower.
yeah, it's like a golden shower in your mouth. That
you can pay for that.
I mean, I've never paid for it, but I mean, I
A
suppose
vial
it's-
of golden liquid that negates all sound within 10 paces of the drinker for a span of several
Okay, so it
moments.
works around me.
bam in your face, Eric.
Right.
Okay,
So
well,
it's an area. of
Fine. They
yeah,
haven't-
it's a desired effect I want.
I'm pro Brandon. I don't think that they've noticed anything yet. So there you go.
Okay, so they haven't noticed at all.
I'm just giving you what the letter of the book says.
No, I
about
like
it.
that more. I thought it was something that created the
I mean-
space, like what I put it on. So I think it's better.
Yeah. So as they're approaching, you slip through.
Yeah. So how are they set up behind that door?
So literally, one of them has got his feet up on the card table, looking at the door like this. The other
Yeah.
woman is basically, they're almost like you and I are,
Right.
from across the table from one another. Both of them with an angle to the door that the other two PCs are on, and then essentially what would be behind you is the second security door that I mentioned.
Okay. Oof. Well,
What are you wanting to do?
Well, if it was a situation, in my head, I imagine they were like in kind of almost like a booth type thing that we're looking out. Because then they have like a.
It's a small room. The door has like a little security slide on it.
So I didn't know if it was
really
like they had like their own. They were they were separate from that hall that the door's connected to, but they have like a viewing space. So I was gonna like maybe open it, but
So when you say there's a security door, you're talking. It's like just a little hatch on the top of the
It's
door.
a little slide. So so basically the door has a little.
Okay.
What's the password, Charlie?
Okay. So it's not like a separate little door. It's just a little
Correct.
slide.
Yeah, it's a little slide. Yeah, a little window that they can open up and ask for the password.
I don't have survey. I have hunt.
You can roll anything. I think it's 2 dice, take the lowest.
Okay. Because I was going to say, do I see like an alarm system? Or
You do
something?
not.
Okay.
Yeah, there is not an alarm system.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no bell, there's no gong, there's
And
no
there's
horn.
and from this door,
There's a lot of syphilis.
on the other side of this door that we're at, there's another security door.
You are correct. Yeah. So Silas and Janie are outside security door 1, and then there's the room. Inside that room are the 2 syphilitic people, and of course little Garrett, and then the second security door.
Okay, no, the pet is a standalone
Don't
character.
worry about us. We can get through.
Well, I'm not saying it isn't.
he
I'm saying
functions
that's
as-
how I run it.
Oh, okay. So according to the rules,
No, it's
he's
a
a cohort.
It's a cohort with it that's an expert
Expert
hunter. I'm
hunter,
saying
yeah.
I run it as part of the character.
So you were saying?
Yeah, I'm just going to go. I'm gonna leave them. They've got it handled.
Okay.
I'll just continue on because I'm invisible, and if I open the door, they're gonna wonder how the fuck the door got open if they've got sight of it. Because if it was like they weren't paying attention,
Right.
and like they were able to sneak in, that's one thing. But
Yeah, just go through
I'm
this
just gonna
other
go.
door.
So you go through the second security door.
second security.
There is there's a stone stairwell that goes downstairs. There is obvious illumination from coming down at the base of the stairwell. The stairwell is kind of narrow. You can see that light, but until you get down to that little area where the stairwell turns, you can't see a whole lot. The stairwell is deep enough, or I should say steep enough, that it probably goes down at least 1.5 stories, maybe 2 stories underground to another door. This door is ajar. Now, you don't have physical form right now, correct? You don't.
Right. I think the idea is I float.
Gotcha.
I guess I
So-
can go through because it doesn't really say, but I can go through things.
It says you can float.
Yeah. Okay. So I can float.
Yeah, you go through the second door. The second door is ajar, so even if you were in physical form, it wasn't locked or closed or anything like that. Inside.
Well, so it only lasts a few moments.
3 minutes.
You have to take a stress for it to last minutes,
Yep.
and you have to take a stress for you to float through the air.
No, just take 2 stress.
And float means flying.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll just take
So you have immaterial ghost form, and you can just
Right.
fly through. Fantastic. So on the other side of the
this
room
ability's cool.
are another dozen women, all in varying degrees of late 20s to middle age, that are all absolutely ravaged and pocked by syphilis, right?
Jenny, don't touch anything here.
And
Too late.
I don't want to be here anymore.
And,
This is
and
gross.
I
there's-
just went pee.
There is one desk that is counting basically debt markers and running a ledger. There's a couple desks that are counting coin. They're doing all sorts of bookkeeping work and money counting work. And there's another large couple of doors. These aren't security doors. They're like fucking barn doors or warehouse doors, except for they have been affixed into the side of the wall down
So
here.
they're bringing in large amounts of like.
It looks like that they're bringing in large amounts of money to be counted, but they're also allocating.
These gross syphilitic women touching this money.
Yeah,
That's the most inefficient way of counting money ever because
Syphilitic women.
because they're going to be going crazy. They don't even
Yeah.
know what they're fucking counting.
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah. Also, their pieces of their hands might fall off.
I'm counting chickens. It's like those aren't chickens; those are fucking dollars.
Yeah, there is
Why have to be
one.
syphilis, bro?
There is one because when you are a prostitute and you get syphilis and people don't want to fuck you anymore, and the crows have a lot of jobs, and you have a body, your fingers still work, even with those gnarly ulcers in the back of your hand, you can still pick up a fucking pen and do some goddamn work and pay off your debt. That's what you can do.
You're not living off our teat anymore.
Yeah,
Right.
just
Because they were before getting
What?
railed for money.
yeah, just because
Taking care of you long enough.
That's right,
I mean,
bugger.
now you know how the world works.
The easy ride ends here.
That's right.
Just because some nasty seaman put his rancid poison semen in you and ruined
Yes, we
you.
know how
This
to
seems so important to you for some such weird reason. This is the weirdest fucking thing.
He's so passionate about it.
He's so passionate.
I love your
It
passion.
sounds like it's from experience. Like it's coming from a place of experience.
He's trying to raise awareness.
When some disgusting seaman puts his like. Who, and you were asking questions earlier about those cable knit sweaters. This is all coming together now. This is all coming together now.
Cable knit sweaters was from a movie, but that's not important. The important thing
The important thing is to wrap it up, kids.
is that
Otherwise,
there is
Yeah.
Be in a counting house with
there
syphilis.
is
Or
one
just don't be a prostitute.
there is
we can
one
cure
guard
it now.
there is one guard down there. He's an obvious blue coat. You've seen him on the beat before.
Yeah.
And he
So they got
has-
one guard in this room.
He has he has two things that every blue coat should have, and that's a cudgel and a whistle. So far, it's the only form of notification or alarm that you have seen thus far. The two of you are on the outside of the door.
I knock on the door.
And I'm assuming you're going to talk your way in.
Oh no, I'm going to fight my way in.
My plan
I'm
is
gonna punch my way through the.
My plan is to set up a teammate. And what I say is to Silas is, Dad, why don't you just pay your debt instead of bringing me here?
Oh,
Damn.
I think we just got, I tell you, after this description of this place, I'm really thinking we got some catch-up work to, we think we're the bad guys. And apparently we are not.
Well,
we are like the glowing beacons of
We're
virtue.
the
in this city.
anti-heroes.
Well,
Come
think
on.
about it this way too. Like, okay, we burned this place to the ground. Now they don't have jobs.
And this is
I was going to say, and this
is an evil that will continue regardless of what happens here today.
Yeah.
It can always be worse.
That's right.
Man, Janny's definitely Will Garrett's daughter. It's crazy.
So,
That's awesome.
so I knock on the door.
All right. The thing opens up, and this woman, the woman with this relatively concave
stench hits you.
face. Yeah, the odor is palpable. You can taste.
Did you
it.
do research on the odor of syphilis?
Anyway,
You can, just look at that picture. You can smell it.
Yeah, that's true.
you can taste that
How do you
picture.
turn those pictures
Do you know
upside
how
down?
tangy
Yeah, you
and
wouldn't know.
sour?
Yeah.
And it's sort of like fugu. It makes you
gross.
tingle.
Yeah.
If it makes you tingle, you got problems.
Sense up. Yeah.
Yeah, like right
So I
on,
go,
man. Like, no, I'm not
Okay,
doing
I
this.
collected the payment. I've collected I've done basically say, yeah, I've done the rounds. I've collected the payment, but you aren't going to believe some of the shit they gave me. And he goes here, and he takes like a case or something, like I don't know. He has like a box or a satchel or something, and so I'm assuming they're used to envelopes getting slid through the door, and he just takes something that looks like it can hold things that is too big for the slot.
Right.
And he just dude.
She's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?"
I'm trying to deliver this thing, but look, it's too damn big. Do you want this money?
What's the password?
The password is it's too goddamn big. I'm not trying to get in there. I'm trying to give you the payment.
She just set it down on the ground and step back.
I am not letting go of this much money.
All right, you hear some arguing. Thing closes, right?
Yeah.
You hear some hushed tones from behind the door, and then the door opens up she's on one side of the door, right? So she's basically got the door in front of her like a shield, right?
Yeah.
Using her left hand, kind of stepping behind it. And then that rat face guy whose face is also covered in red rash and pustulence has that volley gun, and he's
all over the wall.
He's
Red
kind of
rash,
squat, not
red
squat, but he's standing
red
kind of
rash.
low, bends at the knees a little bit, and he's got that volley gun pointed at you.
And
I'm just going to title the episode Syphilis.
Can I put Purell as one of the things in my load?
I walk in. I'm like, I'm really sorry about this. I know it's against protocol. And then I look at him.
All right, and you're gonna give him the whammy.
I'm gonna give him the whammy.
All right, fantastic. Make your whammy roll. Isn't that it's a persuade or sway ability, right?
Like, sultry eyes. Is that what
Yeah. I give him the sultry
you're just
eyes.
like,
yeah. I
you
don't
look
even
down
say
and then you
anything.
just
That's right.
like,
The come hither eyes.
yeah.
the fuck me eyes.
Cowboy.
All right. I am going to push myself real hard here.
Cool.
I'm going to pull myself.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, here's the devil's bargain, right?
Yeah.
It's mesmerism power versus the instinct to not have your mind taken over.
Right.
So I say you have a die, but
Okay.
yeah.
You'll get syphilis.
Well, now they do. One of the kids, if you saw that picture, he's got like those little divots in his head, and so they'll take the balls, they'll take the volley gun balls, and they'll just roll them around in one of his divots.
I will say you read way too much Garth Ennis. I'll just put that on the table right now.
Everyone's so lucky they just have to listen to this.
Oh, Dan's gonna link the pictures in the show notes.
No, I am not.
So, how about this? The devil's bargain is, well, I mean, no, you tell me.
I think you take an unavoidable level 4 harm. I think he shoots you point blank with the.
If I fail?
If you fail,
Well, all right. Yeah.
If you don't get at least a 4, he shoots you point blank.
yeah.
with
It could
volley
be
gun.
worse. The guy could spit while he talks, and then you get hit by it.
That's true.
That's way
So
worse.
I'm putting the
I'd rather
whammy-
be shot.
Wet talker.
I'm putting the whammy on him.
Right.
Say
Just
it, don't
shoot
spray
her.
it,
I
brother.
love it.
I love it.
Yeah. They walk in. Oh, sorry about this. Silas says, "Cover your ears, dear."
Didn't I did a setup to teammate.
You
Yeah.
did.
So
All
that
right.
gives you an extra dice.
So is there a cool? Is there a? I forget how to do the steps. Set
I have
a
to roll
character.
something.
Yeah. Set up another character with your action.
This
If you
is
achieve
great,
it,
not preparing anything and then having somebody else game master.
No.
This is fucking
team
amazing.
member-
Prepared this. Seriously, of all the things you can do, no notes, no stats, no story guides, just a bunch of fucking visual aids of what syphilis does to me.
To be fair,
You know, we do know what syphilis
hold on
is,
a
right?
second. All right, while Chad's figuring this out, I don't want to. There are 6 syphilitic people here, 5 of which are sketches. So, in my defense, only
What does that
one-
matter?
What's the relevance?
What does that matter?
Like, yeah,
They're very, very, very fucking descriptive.
Yeah, it's not like they're stick figures.
Yeah.
that's all right.
You were saying syphilis.
They're
I mean
just
Silas.
Some pencilings. Like, no.
Okay, so Janny's setting me up.
Yep.
So
Medical journal level sketches.
how are you setting me up?
Using sway.
Sway. Okay.
Yeah, because I use my words.
Yep, you use your words.
Yes.
So basically, yeah, you're like kind of distracting their mind a little bit, so that they're not like fully mentally prepared for the whammy.
And I'm like, ooh, look at these people, Dad.
Yeah,
Oh, come on, that's so fucking mean. And
right.
You say that? You say, of all the people at this table, you're the one that says, oh, that's so mean. God.
Oh, these people stink, Dad. Come on, let's go. What would a teenager or a preteen
Yeah.
say? Oh my God, this is so fucking gross. 4.
All right, you do it, but there's a consequence.
All right. I don't I got consequences covered in spades, guys. We're good.
Okay. So I either get plus.
Before you do your thing, the room I'm in, how close is it to them? Because you said I went downstairs, right?
All right. So and again, I don't
This
have
is important for
So
all of us.
here's the room. Here's the room they're in, right?
Yeah.
You went down a staircase, so you're literally directly underneath them.
So, like, if something popped off, they hear that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
So something pops off up here. or something pops off if something pops off in your room or their room, you'll absolutely hear one another respectively.
Okay, now because of that, I might just drink my silence potion. When I drink that silence potion, is there sound inside the area of the silence potion?
So my interpretation is it's just like silence in Dungeons and Dragons, is that there is a radius centered on you that goes with you, so people outside the radius can hear, but you can't hear
outside of it.
Right. I think it's completely a dead zone of silence. So you
I just want to know, because
sound.
if I drink it, obviously they're going to stop hearing themselves like counting and shit, right?
Yeah, they're going to stop. Anybody inside the radius is going to stop hearing, right, and have zero sound, including you.
And I know how to fuck with you if I were in the game too. Tell you.
It's a weird flex chat.
I know, right? Well, I'm just thinking of all that, like.
Well, don't worry, Chad. You may get the opportunity.
Yeah,
I know, right?
So, I just turn it to you and say, well, Chad, how do we fucking him?
They could
Well,
probably
he's not a leech,
no.
and so it's a tinker roll,
Right.
And he doesn't know dosages or anything like that,
Right.
So fucking it up would take him into the fucking Twilight Zone,
Right.
It's beyond not hearing. It would be some weird psychedelic fucking effect.
That's a weird thing, because that argument doesn't make sense, because that's like saying any cutter, when they use their potion, they might use too much
Rage
or
potion.
not enough,
Which
doesn't make sense, because it's the correct amount that
we
they
bought it
always
from
use.
somebody.
Yeah, why would I pack myself way more than I would ever
That's fair.
need for the situation? It's not like I brought a gallon of silence potion and I'm like, fuck, how much do I need this time?
Yeah.
It's a pre-measure.
Yeah, it's pre-measured.
dosage,
That's fair.
It's a prepared amount.
Yeah, I'm used to cut silence potion. So if I get a pure silence potion,
Right.
oh, all right.
I'm sorry, I lost track. Where were we at? You were
Okay.
taking your silence potion.
I think I'm going to take my silence potion, but I'm not going to be... Man, this guy's not really doing anything, right?
He is not, and in fact, if anything, he's sitting with his back against the wall on a chair. Chair's kind of leaned back. Occasionally, he'll check his pocket watch. Occasionally, he will look at the door behind him. Occasionally, he'll look toward the ajar door.
Is it possible, because it was, what, 10 feet is what it was?
Something like that.
Or radius of 10?
Oh, you're talking about the potion?
yeah.
I thought it was like 20.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the room is way smaller than that.
You will envelop
The entire
most,
room.
most of the room.
Because I was thinking of if I could, like, somehow
the
get to a
only-
corner where
yeah,
it's, like, covering the people counting.
10 paces.
10 paces?
Yeah. So, 10 paces, you'll absolutely cover the room.
Boost his whistle.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I could do that. I could sneak and get the whistle, maybe. Mm-hmm. Can I go through people?
Can ghosts go through people? I would say.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're totally
Yeah, I think the answer is yes, but I think that they're aware when you do.
I know.
I mean, you feel,
Yeah, you
like,
feel
as far as you feel that shit, right?
Wouldn't
Like,
I also
that's
have to, like,
unnerving.
remove my hand from the veil to grab the whistle and bring it into the veil? So, like, a floating hand just comes out of nowhere?
I don't. What I would do, you know how that there's the different ands on this. I would just put that as
Chad,
an additional and.
you read my mind.
Yeah. You don't have to take your hand.
For two stress.
one stress.
No, for two stress. Fuck that. He is manifesting a piece of his body, right? He's not just maintaining a spell for one stress. He wants to make his hand real, take a tangible thing, then make them both intangible again and pull out. Fuck you, two stress.
You don't even need your whole hand. You just need
this
your
is an
finger and
ugly
thumb.
precedent.
I mean,
that
that's
we're-
what she said. But
This is an ugly precedent that we're setting
Absolutely.
because this is going to happen again,
Well,
and I don't want it to happen again for one stress.
Well,
Right,
it's already happened once when I fought those guys that used ghost veils. They literally came out of the veils to hit me.
Right.
They went back in the veils.
they were using shadow cloaks.
Oh, they weren't using veils.
No, they weren't. They were. They were
Those
even
are
called the
just-
shadow cloakers.
Those were just shadow cloaks.
Those are just shadow cloaks.
So this is like way more intense than
The
shadow
shadow
cloaks.
cloak is one of the coolest, most useful items in the game that no one uses. So I did an entire team based around them, just as a little soapbox for myself.
So ghost veil is just an upped shadow cloak
yeah, you get to
because I
pick
can
powers
fly
and
with this
stuff.
fucking thing.
Yeah, and I don't have it to where shadow cloaks allow you to phase through doors. I had the if you can cast a shadow,
They go in and out of
They go in
shadows.
and out. So like this security door,
Yeah.
cast a shadow through the security door.
No.
Right,
But like the door on the train,
Yeah.
right.
yeah.
Okay, I just all right.
Whereas your
I
ability
like
is
the
more
switch.
of an incorporeal.
Yeah,
right?
I like the description there because I didn't think about. I assumed they were using the same thing.
Nope.
Even though I'm pretty sure I knew.
Oh yeah,
that's what they
the
were
shadow cloak is just like a think like the Harry Potter cloak of invisibility, except it doesn't actually make you invisible. You're just harder to see. It's like really good camouflage.
Yeah.
The ghost veil, that's not an item.
That's like an ability.
Yeah.
You are physically shifting
Yeah.
yourself out of sync with reality.
Yeah, into the ghost. You can do a lot of shit with that ghost veil. That's a lot, and that's another one. I've had lurks in other games, and they have that ability. They just use it to walk through a door. And I'm like, God, you can do so much with
So
it.
much more. I literally bypassed a building to get where I'm at.
Right.
Okay, so I'm actually going to while they're doing that, I am going to take the. I'm going to try and take the whistle.
I go into the ghost veil. I put my head through the safe. I take another stress to see in the fucking dark and read the plans in the safe, and then I walk away.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Anyway, I'm telling this guy, I'm not saying anything. I'm giving him the whammy
Right.
to shoot his friend. Wow. Oh, that sucked. 4, I think I do it. Yeah, I do it. I do it, but there's complication. You got 4.
All right. So here's the complication.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I was going to say, because of the setup action, I am taking +1 effect so that I don't want her wounded.
Right.
I want her killed.
Right.
And so that is the additional, like, the more oomph that I got out of the setup.
No, I love it. So he turns, but he's just slightly resistant, and so he pulls the trigger just a little bit prematurely, and so one of the rounds is going to rip through your abdomen just above your liver for level 2 harm.
Level 2 harm, huh? Yeah, I keep picking up the pen to do this. I'm gonna say I take it on the armor.
But she is absolutely cut damn near in half by these point blank 60 caliber rounds, shred through her flesh in great Tarantino fashion, showering back wall. One ball hits you but rolls, you roll with it, it rolls off of your armor. Now downstairs you don't hear anything, but Dan, from the sewer, right, you can hear all this gunfire going on, and then from some great distance you can hear this large cacophonous explosion that kind of echoes through the sewerway as that enormous rifle goes off. But you, of course, and nobody else in your room notices anything as far as that noise goes. The only thing that I think that would alarm them is how utterly quiet, just how eerily dead silent it is, but I think that probably would take them a moment.
Yeah, that like in an office environment where it's really quiet and
the
stuff.
monotony.
Yeah,
I
and
think
actually, there's probably a part of you that is like kind of glad
Right.
that you can't hear the whizzing breath or the shuffling or the sniffling or the coughing.
right. So the whole volley gun goes off. Grrr! Room fills with concussion noise and smoke. And when all that starts to settle, you can see the shredded, syphilitic ex-prostitute, now whatever it is that she does, shredded on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Silas you turn around, Silas is on the ground, and he stumbled and fell. He's grabbing his side, and there's probably like a little bit of blood. I mean, he's shot but not shot, but wounded a little but not that wounded. And he's like standing up and he's nodding. He's like to the guy, and he's pulling this plate out of his armor that is just like dented in like 2 inches in. He's like
right as the rat-faced syphilitic guy realizes what he's done and drops the volley gun and seems very distraught and confused.
Mm-hmm. Kill him.
Does he also have a whistle?
He does not have a whistle now.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to use one of my loads for the unusual weapon.
The greatest security is the fact that no one would ever do this.
Right. Yeah.
Super surprising.
Yeah. Why would anyone?
Who would hit Capone?
Biggest gang in the world. Here we are.
Yeah. Why would anyone do that? I think that's the greatest element of surprise ever.
Your
is
money's
that-
safer with me than in the
No
bank.
one's dumb
Nobody
enough.
ever hits
Yeah,
me.
no one's dumb enough to do this.
Right. So I have an unusual weapon, and what that weapon is it looks like a pistol with a little bit of like a flintlock pistol, but it has some sort of box to it, and there's a needle pointing out of it, like a hypodermic needle.
Okay.
And with the drugs load that I took from the hospital,
I love it because I've seen pepper boxes like that that'll have like 4 barrels in a quad, and it'll have like a little bayonet on the bottom. So just having a little syringe on that is awesome.
right? And so she just points it at the guy and goes, and shoots it. Sorry, I didn't mean to spit on you.
No, you're fine.
No, he does have syphilis.
And the intent is to shoot this lidocaine directly into his esophagus. Dump it into his lungs.
Good God, right in his fucking esophagus. Fucking like.
You guys are metal.
All right, so I have a hunt of 1. I'm going to push myself.
So esophagus, not trachea?
Well, yeah, trachea.
I was going to say, is he none of his
No,
esophagus?
he's just a hell of a shot. I mean,
Right. Well, I want to dump it into his windpipe. Pushing myself.
that's right.
Drink it.
So that's going to be 2 dice.
He looks at you right now.
Drink your milkshake.
Right.
That's uncomfortable. It's like some dude looking at my dick. Ron, drink your milkshake.
Did you ever see that movie?
Oh, it's
There
fun.
Will Be Blood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There will be blood.
Oh no, there will be boredom. That's why I didn't see it.
Oh, it's so good.
so
It's like 12 days long.
I got a 5.
Yeah, but
Which
every
is-
time he's on screen,
which is a success with a minor complication, which absolutely
I hate that movie. But I don't like that actor.
Right.
Alright, good. So you hit him in the throat. He staggers back, and he's already had dropped the volley gun, but he kind of goes up to grab at the needle, but he's already starting to asphyxiate and is unable to get to it before he drops to the ground. Again, you hear nothing. But again, just a few brief moments pass, and somebody kind of looks around, just starting to notice that things are a little bit amiss. But so Dan, Booker hears some shouting above him in the street as the manhole cover is being rested down, and then you can hear that strange collection of gunfire from the distance.
All right. Biter will ghost form to me, and I'm then going to send him home because he's been stabbed. Now, I would like to roll hunt to try and find the source of that volley gun.
You don't need to. You don't need to. You know, you're the way the tunnels work. Obviously, there's going to be some bending, but it definitely came from the direction of the safe house, and it is on your level plane, meaning you're on the same story as it is.
Okay. Following the tunnels to whatever degree, I obviously am just kind of fiddling my way here. How close do I think I can get to the source of that?
It'd probably take you a minute maybe to run to, maybe 60 seconds to cut around and find your way at least toward the appropriate direction. Now you don't know what's there, right?
Okay, that's what I'm going to do then.
All right, perfect. So you start running that direction. I don't think that requires any sort of roll. So you're silent in the room, little Garrett. You're invisible, and as you can say, the body language is starting to kind of indicate that there's a little bit of confusion by the absence of sound. But
Right.
obviously, that's still
Well, yeah,
sort of
because
that-
if you're in a room and everything stops, you're kind of like, what's going on?
yeah, that movie slow-mo though, right? Like it's only been a few seconds, but it feels like an eternity. So you're in the room, it's dead silent, and you have the initiative.
So I'm actually gonna. So the guard's still like just leaning up.
He is. He's actually, yeah. So his chair is leaned back on 2 legs. Not enough that he's like risking falling or anything like that. Just kind of cocked back. But
I'm gonna phase through the wall behind him with a blunderbuss, and I'm just going to blow his head off.
Jesus Christ.
Here, stick your head in this.
No one's gonna hear it.
All right, so yeah, you're gonna you phase through the wall behind him. Grrr. So as you go through the wall, right, as you phase through, you'll also notice behind those doors those double barn doors lead into a pretty wide tunnel that has been made out of brick underneath the area. So it looks like they've taken part of the sewer.
Is it go to the sewer? Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like they're using the sewer for transport, and so
Man, that's risky.
yeah, but they have a pretty wild setup.
They kind of
right?
have to, though, right?
So they have, so they'll have a rack set up that has.
Wait, so am I coming across this?
You will.
Okay.
They have various. They have
flamethrowers.
various lanterns. They have.
So they have like protection from like the rats and shit.
Yeah, it looks like you've ever seen a. I think they use them on boats. Yeah, it was like basically a boating hook. Where it's essentially like a spear, but instead of a spear blade, it's just like a little spike and then a hook on the end. So they have those for fighting rats. But it's kind of a fairly organized thing where they have a little
Like bill
a little
hooks?
arsenal.
A bill hook?
Yeah, a bill hook. Thank you. Yeah, they have like a little arsenal of stuff set up and supplies for venturing into the sewer facilities itself. But you pull the trigger on your blunderbuss, and again, there is no great cacophony that gives me a boner.
It's sort of
It's hunt, right?
Just a red mist goes.
Miasma of syphilis.
Yeah, I think hunt is perfect.
I don't need any bonuses for surprise or anything, right? Nope. I don't think so.
you can push yourself. Get an assist.
I'm getting real close to not being able to push myself.
Yeah, same.
I got 2.
You know what? I will push myself though, because I gotta take 2. Shit. 5.
Well, that is a success with minor complication. His head vaporizes. A little bit of jawbone, viscera, gelatin from the inside. Brr, brr. Now, the thing is, they don't hear it.
Yeah.
But the complete surprise and
Feel the mist.
Yeah. Oh God, could you imagine that it's absolutely dead quiet, but the nearest person
you're just wet.
actually gets splatter on them
Like
to turn,
hot, wet.
realize that it's dead quiet. You can't hear anything at all. You go to scream because this guy's head just exploded,
nothing.
and there's absolutely dead silence. So you look around, everyone else starts noticing. You're freaking out. That actually is going to make me lose sleep. Meanwhile, back upstairs.
All right, so dude's laying there asphyxiating.
Yeah.
Right, he blew a hole or several holes in the
Clawing
leg.
at his face to the point where he rips open one of his syphilis scars and starts to pus and cut.
Put your gloves on, Jamie.
All right, well, I step in after Silas steps in, and I just close the security door and bar it.
I start looting the fuck out of the room.
So this room in particular, there's not a whole lot here other than the few bits of coins on the table
my room.
and the monies and what have you. There's not a whole lot of interest.
Can
right?
I loot what's in this room
Yeah, fuck yeah.
for me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
You-
the goal is his room, but Silas's pockets is this room.
Silas will find effectively in this room. There's not a whole lot, but we'll
Sure.
call it 1 coin.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
So Silas will definitely get a coin.
Was this guy a?
Is Jamie? He's not dead yet.
Is this guy a crow or was he a?
He is definitely a crow.
Okay.
Yeah, he is definitely a crow.
All right. So as Silas is like taking all the coins and stuff, I'm just like kneeling down next to this guy, like watching him asphyxiate as I'm unscrewing his peg leg.
I'm raising a monster.
And then finally, you watch that light.
He RP'd too hard.
You watch that light fade from his eyes. You are a monster. You guys are the bad guys.
And the Clock tower at the Bellwether Crematorium starts ringing. Bells start ringing. The crows start flying out. Yeah.
Oh my God,
Death Seeker crows start.
Yes, that is real life because people are dead in that sense. Yeah, that really
There's
puts,
gonna be some heat too.
yeah, put you guys on the clock. But anyway, so back to Booker. Yeah, you are moving in that direction, and eventually, as described, you will come across this little staging area that they have. Now, you even if little Garrett was there, you couldn't see her, but as described, bill hooks, lanterns. There is a big double barn door in front of you. You don't see it barred or anything like that. Now, you know on the opposite side of the door that it definitely is barred from the inside. But so there's, like I said, the double barn doors there, and all of this gear, including flammables.
So you said though the barn door is barred. So I'm going to take one of these hooks, slip it between the doors, and lift the bar.
I love it. I think that's let's call it a wreck.
Rack.
Yeah, wreck is to sabotage stuff. Yeah.
Or give me a skill. What works for you?
I'm going to go with prowl.
All right.
Because wreck is an act of force. This is not an act of force.
This is an act of finesse.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right.
6.
Of course you did. So, from inside, little Garrett, I don't know if you're, or you can, because I don't know exactly where you're at. You tell me where you're at, because presumably you will see Booker doing this.
I probably came out of the veil after I blew that guy's head off. Like I probably
All right. So on the inside of the room.
Yeah.
All right. So
So like the guy's head explodes and then the veil just like falls off.
So the damnedest thing occurs, Booker. You can feel that the hook went in. Mm-hmm. You can feel it lift the bar off the door. You can feel the weight of it, and then the weight's just not there. What obviously should have made some sound does not.
I am profoundly impressed with my skill.
And the door opens to you see inside the room. It is utterly silent. There are women gasping and clutching at pearls.
So I can see him.
Yeah.
So if you see me, I look at you and I like wink and like make a shush face.
The odor in the room is it hangs like tang in the air as you see these dozen people and the various levels of deformation from their illness.
Now this is the cash room, right?
This is indeed the cash room.
Okay. So still oblivious to the existence of the stealth potion.
Good.
I'm going to tiptoe through and take a cash box and move it out the barn doors to the staging area.
All right, the women back away. They can't hear. They can't communicate with one another. They're all doing with their ears. But the one thing that they certainly make sure to do is stay out of the way of the two of you.
Yeah. So I'm just bit by bit, I'm robbing this room.
All right. So then back to you two real quick. You have control of this room. You have not heard a thing from downstairs. You've heard various shouting and yelling and things coming out from the street, but everything's happening so quickly that most of the activity is still moving away from this end of the road down to Crow's Nest as the diversion intended.
I take the last little bit, a cash box, nothing in there, all right, this place is empty. Let's hit the
downstairs.
Yep.
All right. So as you're heading downstairs, there's a door, as I described, down at the bottom of that stairwell. That door is ajar.
No, it's a door.
Now the door that we just went through. So I barred the front door.
Door, not a door.
And then there was another door. Was that a security door?
There's another security door at the top of the staircase that if you also want to lock that one,
I'm going to seal that one tight.
Sealed up. Gotcha. So the security door behind you is also sealed. So there are two security doors in a room between you and anybody that would be coming after you.
Okay.
The bottom of the stairs, that door is just a standard solid door, not a big deal. But it makes no noise when you open it up, and the room, as described, is fairly open. It's got a few desks, a few small desks, a writing desk, a drawing table with a little bit of a ledger on it. There is a chair spilled off to the floor next to these two large barn double doors. There is the remains of what was some security guard whose head has been utterly destroyed by some high caliber weapon and or explosion. One of the women is covered in what was once the head and brains of said security guard,
and she looks better for it.
They're crying, but the room is utterly silent, and you see Booker
just filling in the holes is all.
Yeah, some filler and some rouge.
Just filling in the holes, man.
When she came into work, she didn't have a nose. Now she's got
she's got a nose.
She's got half a nose,
extra ear,
and a new eyebrow.
Right.
Anyway, so, but they're thrashing around the room, knocking things over, grabbing cash boxes. Those two double doors are open, and Booker is actually setting equipment, or not equipment, but setting loot up into that little staging area that obviously the crows use for traveling through the network of sewers. And it is as described, and they're gathering quite a bit of coin. They don't do cash money in this world, right? It's all actual metal coin.
I think it's just coin.
Yeah,
I think coin is just a value.
Well, I think paper cash. I think it's both. Then, right? I think it's sort of like proper English money, right?
Yeah,
right.
Where
it
you
could
get
be like
both.
it could be like
Or
bank
notes.
notes.
Banknotes,
So there's
gold coins,
so
jewelry.
Promissory notes.
There is a variety of all things that have value. I think jewelry is a really good one too.
I always thought of the coin as just loot. Like it's like a
Sort of
monetary
hit points.
value of loot.
Yeah, it's just an abstract thing. All right. So you guys are collecting coin.
Silas kicks in the door, bursts in the room, and he has this great speech about how we're not here for your money, we're here for the bank's money.
And you just see his mouth moving.
It's just like, wah, wah, wah.
I look at him and I
love it.
I take my much smaller vial than what this is, and I just go.
He's like, what?
I make some really complicated hand gesture towards Jenny,
and you get this idea that.
And Jenny knows I'm saying what
he really hears himself talking, and that's what he's listening to,
and that's all he cares about.
That's all it matters. Yeah.
Oh my God, you're a Brodor.
Well, Silas has a last name now, Silas Crane Brodor.
Wonderful. So at this point, I think it is successful. Mm-hmm. The reinforcements clock was never triggered, although it did come very, very close.
We could probably hear pounding on one of the outer security doors.
Yeah, by the time that you're going, you probably hear the first security door get breached.
We're totally igniting the incendiaries on our way out.
More likely, as you're escaping, you're probably hearing people in the actual sewers looking for you, right? Probably hearing voices echoing from different tunnels. Not quite sure if they're ahead of you or behind you, but obviously
Silas infiltrates into those patrols, saying, "Oh, I heard them this way. Come on, fella." That sort of stuff.
Right, to dissuade them and divert them from chasing the party, and eventually the party will make it back to yes, sir.
I would like to do a flashback.
Yes, sir.
The last thing that Janny did with Mabel was everybody else had left, and Janny is leaning on her bed and says, "We're going to get them. We're going to get them." And then grabs the red sash that they used as a tourniquet, and I tap her on the face, and then flashing back to us leaving, I drop the sash on the floor as we leave.
Beautiful.
We started the war.
Beautiful. And the war is now it's really begun. All right, let's do the next part then, the downtime and all that stuff. However the hell that works.
All right, first off, payoff. Or that's completely your call, based on the little payoff chart.
Everyone gets syphilis.
My favorite one is this little kid here. The heads, it's like fucking moon craters. It's amazing.
Just needs some spackle, that's all.
Scratch his brain.
Some spackle.
Just needs a little Bondo.
You just paint it the right color.
Jesus.
You know what's really wild? Just one last syphilis thing.
How many of these did you bring?
That is a syphilitic skull. So it literally damages the bone. It changed the actual contours of this person's occipital lobes on their skull.
He's got an entire
it flaked
dossier.
away. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, he's got one visual aid that isn't repulsive, and it was never used.
Those are the ones I gave him.
Well,
These aren't serious enough.
these are, but Chad, you'll notice I took your text and I put them together, and so I have my little. That's how.
Yeah.
Dear God.
And I knowing who those people are, I'm glad we met the syphilitic people.
I'm like
rather than them.
Tarantino or Guy Ritchie. I'm way more style than substance. That's just the way That's just the way I do.
So the payoff: the crew earns 2 rep per score by default.
Okay, so who's got our rep sheet?
Not me.
That was Wayne.
Wayne. Actually, is this it? Or is that just the character?
Yeah, that's just sable and really nice
Check the
quality.
look behind you, brother, on top of the Dark Domains box. Is that...
You're a dark domain.
Actually, no.
What? Like a goddamn genius.
I thought I saw it in there.
Who wants it? Who's doing it? You doing it?
That's fine.
All right, so we get...
You get 2 rep by default.
All
If the
right.
target score is a higher tier, take +1 rep per tier higher. Now, would you like some unsolicited advice?
Yeah, without question.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
You don't even have to ask. Just throw the advice at me, Chad.
So the crows are, and this is actually not going to help our team. So sorry, guys.
There's no way we weren't punching above our weight.
Well, no. Here's the thing.
Teacher, you forgot to give us homework.
Yeah, that's about what this is going to be. So the crows are obviously astronomically higher than we are. This counting house was not.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I would interpret it.
Right.
Otherwise, it would be like, you ever play a video game where you get XP and you do some exploit where you take down the super powerful super guy and your XP bar just goes... That's how I would do it.
No,
and again, this is the sorry teacher, you forgot to pass out homework.
No, I do not disagree. My gut was at least an additional 1,
Yeah.
2 at most.
Yeah,
For punching above your weight class. And I'm happy to give you 2 reputation, but you're going to earn it on the back end.
right, yeah, because the crows and the red sashes and stuff like these are the top tier. This is the Cadillac margarita, right? You
Right.
know, it's so.
No, I love that. Let's call it 2. Okay.
So 2 extra?
Yeah, let's call it 2 extra.
All right.
Okay, coins.
So here's something that I'm thinking, and I don't want to be Monty Hall and be like, what's behind the door number 1, Monty? It's a Vorpal sword. But
that?
I also the average coin that you're supposed to get as a group per adventure is approximately what?
A standard
6.
score is 6. Decent loot, and you pay. So say you say 6.
Right.
We get 6, and then we subtract coin equal to the tier +1 to our tier +1. So what's our tier? Tier is
0.
here is 0. So we would actually get 5 because that's our payoff to lard.
Oh, I grok. Well,
Yeah.
so then let's call it.
Unless the B team has decided that we're not going to pay lard on behalf of Treacle.
Story wise,
Yeah.
didn't we just kind of implicate that they did that, not us? So
Well, that would go towards heat and stuff, right?
Yeah,
right, but that was we implicated the red sashes.
So
not-
here's the thing about like this.
Are we going to
workflow.
tell them that we framed them for a job we did? Is my point.
Here's the thing about this workflow, though, is try to be as meta as possible with
Yeah.
it. When you start getting into stuff like we had it with that one where it's just like, well, we were quiet, but we did this, but we did that, but we did this. And it's like, no, you have to ignore all that and just work it through like it's an algebra problem. You know?
Yeah.
Did we kill people? Yes. Tick.
Okay.
Did it do
But the
this?
way I'm thinking,
Tick.
like I said, when we
Otherwise it starts
so we
falling apart.
we robbed this place, we basically framed them for it, and then we're going to give them coin, and then explain that we framed them for this job.
Well,
like,
and
that just to me just doesn't make sense. is what I'm
also,
saying.
it could be viewed as we didn't frame them. We're an affiliate gang.
And they're already at war.
Right. They're already at
It's
war.
not- we didn't shoot Ferdinand. This is already going on.
They would. So the anger that would be directed at the red sashes because we dropped the sash is equal to the anger directed at the red sashes.
Well, we can
for
even
not
look at it
dropping.
as that gives us favor with the red sashes because we made them look like they did something.
Well,
Right.
that kind of goes against the point of the whole gesture.
Yes.
My point of the gesture was I wanted them.
They want that. That's the stash that you put on Mabel, and we gave it back.
and we gave it back. Here you go. This is for what you did to Mabel.
Right.
But would
And
they
when-
know that?
I mean,
From the
if-
sash?
Who cares? I'm just saying that that was the message. Whether it was received or not, that way.
It's the
however.
message that we needed to get out, and we don't care if they got it. or
You
not.
should have tied it on that guy's leg that you took his
So
leg.
for the coins, all right. Here's my petition. 8-coin job because we cleared out a cash house. -1 for our tithes. So that's 7 coins. That's 1 coin for each character, 2 for the gang.
I would prefer. I think I'm gonna go more generous than that, and we're gonna call it 12.
Because it was a cash house.
Yeah,
Like,
one coin to the red sashes and 11 for the party.
yeah.
All right. So
Now, okay, so
And I know that math doesn't work, but that's also on purpose.
well, remember too, you can only hold 4 coin,
right. That's why we give the rest of it to the gang. So like we go.
and the gang can only hold.
Well, we've got a.
You have a safe.
well, how cool is that if you actually have to leave money behind?
I mean, it's,
Well, there's no way we would have been able to
like
carry all
we're
that.
running away and bills are coming out of the bags and stuff.
No, I love it.
They know we did it because they followed the
No,
cash.
that's
the cash trick.
that's exactly the kind of comedy that I would expect from this party.
Okay, so
We could hold
We have
because
a
our
vault.
vault. We have 1 vault, so we can hold 4 coin in the vault.
yeah, because we already have 4 coin in there. So how much? 12. So we take 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 8.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget.
Oh,
Large.
large. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 11 technically because
Yeah.
one of them will go to the
Sable.
red sashes.
4. Yeah. Okay. So we're paying Sable. She didn't show up.
We did never.
I'll take. It sounds like I'll take Sable's share.
We also haven't done anything with the actual like leveling of our gang for a while. So technically, we're under leveled on that stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe we could up the vault and then add it because technically we're behind by like I don't know 4 games or something like that.
After score
'Cause we
result,
never do
payoff,
it.
heat, entanglement, then downtime in that order. And
Because there are plenty of times we never had a downtime,
Right.
like with the other guys. Not
Like
these
we've
guys.
got 3 XP for the gang right now, as of the last time we did XP for the gang.
Right.
So I guess do we want to give ourselves some XP from the previous stuff before now?
I mean,
it wasn't a score.
Well, let's resolve the money first.
It wasn't a score.
We give 4 to the gang.
Okay, so
That leaves 8 unaccounted for. We give 1 to Lard. That leaves 7 unaccounted for. I don't know. We each take 1, give 1 to Wayne's character. That's 5. So that takes us up to 9. 10 accounted for.
how much does the gang gets 4?
So the gang gets 4.
Right,
Each of us
fill
gets
that in.
1. We'll give Wayne 1.
yeah, the paper that it was printed on, like the ink is kind of rubbed off too, so it's hard to tell.
There we go.
Wayne's gonna come back in and be like, I have a coin. That's awesome.
And then, I mean, yeah, we can say 2 are left on the floor or whatever. I don't know how we want to.
So yeah, the whole thing about the reason why the gang and the individuals can only hold so much is because we're scoundrels.
Hoarding it.
Yeah, I mean,
you're spending it drinking and shit all
Yeah.
the time.
No, I love it.
You're not a scoundrel because you work a
save.
steady job and save and plan for the future. You're
What role playing game is it that they have a mechanic where you basically lose wealth between games?
Conan.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Conan does that.
Yeah, for exactly that reason. Yeah.
Yeah, the D20 Conan, it was between game sessions, whatever money you have, you cut it in half
Yeah.
Wow.
before
Neat.
the next one.
Yeah, and that because that's
And
what
I
they
mean,
did.
that kind of encourages you to like ham it up on RP for like
Yeah.
at the end of shit.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
delicious.
heat. After score conflict with opponent, the crew takes heat. Add +1 heat for high profile or well connected target. +1 heat if the situation happened on hostile turf.
Yup.
+1 heat if you're at war.
Yup.
That's 3. +2 heat if killing was involved.
Yup.
So that'd be 5 heat.
That's a lot of heat.
How much coin did the individual people get?
One, if I'm not
okay.
mistaken. Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe the math was 1. And I did mark 1 on Sable's character sheet.
Cool.
I say we left one on the ground, so you want to give one to your own character.
Nah, that's
Okay.
alright.
I say the way I've always done it with games like this, where as a rotating GM, is for the act of GMing, the GM gets to, their character still participates in loot and XP, but what else? Okay, so we got 5 heat off this.
Okay.
Sweet. Don't we need heat to upgrade something?
No.
Okay, entanglements.
Once you fill up your heat, then you're on a wanted level. That's
I thought there was something that you wanted.
no, you want rep to go up so you can gain turf.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, so entanglements. What is our roll dice equal to your wanted level?
Which is 0.
Okay. So you have 1. And then read the result according to your heat.
I think it's minimum 1, right?
Yeah, 0 to 3 actually is its own chart. So, okay. And then, so after the payoff, roll dice equal to your 1 level, so we roll 1.
6.
Cooperation. A +3 status faction asks for a favor. Agree to do it or forfeit 1 rep per tier of the friendly faction or lose 1 status with them. If you don't have a +3 faction status, you can void entanglements for now.
Cool.
Well, are the red sashes
Yeah, what level are they at?
Well,
we don't even do that mechanic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're not
so-
doing the status mechanic.
Yeah, so-
No, the red sashes do have a tier. I'm sorry, were you asking the tier or the rep?
No, our rep with the red
With
sashes,
them.
which we've not been tracking.
Yeah.
No. I would say it's pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, it would make sense that it would be 3, right?
Yeah.
So, they're going to come back and ask for something from us.
maybe
Like
maybe
they
for
already do.
like maybe for
Right.
for dropping that sash on the ground.
For not coming back with that lens.
when there's a question of rep, I just make it up what seems right.
Yeah, no, red sashes was my first instinct. Is that, well, okay, now you guys, you put us in a situation, right? We didn't ask you to do that, and you did it, and that's a problem. Or the other thing is that I think another gang that's up and coming comes to you and says, hey, we heard about what you guys did. It's fucking amazing, and we want you to do a thing for us that we can't handle.
Or maybe red sashes did that same thing. They were like, hey, we're impressed you did that on
Yeah.
your own.
That's
Like your
right.
moxie
have-
kid.
Clearly, you
Right.
can handle yourselves.
Right.
We've got this you could do if you prove
Right.
yourself. Maybe you get something.
Yeah, so I think we've got some good options there, and I think that would actually probably be a good way to start the next game.
Yeah.
Is with that score, right?
Start us in that score.
Yeah, start in that score.
Okay.
Okay, and then we have the
Balls deep in school.
2 downtime activities each. So how bad is our heat?
We are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 heat.
That's high. Isn't like 8 when you get
9.
9?
9 is filled.
The
What's
AC
the
left with
Whoa,
no
whoa,
heat,
whoa,
and then
okay.
they come back.
So
to-
after that, roll dice equal
Yeah.
to your 1 level.
That's why they're not ever in charge of me.
I'm sorry, hold on, I did that wrong. You roll dice, it's not a cooperation effect. If our heat is that high,
basically.
and we rolled a 6,
Mm-hmm.
an inspector presents a case file of evidence to a magistrate to begin prosecution of your crew. The Bluecoats send a detail to arrest you. Pay them off with coin, 1 level +3. Hand someone over for arrest. This completely clears your heat. Or try to evade capture.
Oh, so it's pay them off, give them somebody. God damn it! I wish Worth was still.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
He'd be the no,
What?
because then he'd get to level up and be a badass.
Wait a
when he comes
minute.
out.
Wait a minute. First of all, how do you know Worth isn't still alive? Like being flayed
Well,
or dismembered
No
somewhere.
one cares. Is
I
the
mean,
thing.
he's dead on the inside.
He's being
been that way for
injected with
years.
syphilis.
No.
One
When-
10 cc's of cream at a time.
Wayne played the character and hated him. So like no one is gonna like
I hate my own character. Yeah, damn.
I loved when he was like, I hate Worth.
I didn't even make worth that bad. It just came out.
Well, no, it was
Yeah.
story-wise because
Story-wise,
he's playing Reggie's basically brother.
Yeah.
And they had that whole love triangle thing that you set up. So he's like, I fucking hate this guy.
So
I love that about Wayne.
So
I
it's
appreciate
pay him off, give him somebody, or try to evade capture.
Yes, or which I'm assuming would be a game to itself.
Yeah, I think evade capture is a score in and of itself.
Yeah. Does anybody want to take the heat and go
If you
in jail?
Well, like we talked about before, if you do go to jail, you can set up.
You get connections.
You get connections.
There's a whole minigame.
You
and
get
actually it's pretty
minigames. You
powerful.
actually get like XP and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But you'll be out for the next session, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think what we do.
what if we all go to jail?
And then just pick up the next game.
Because we don't
with the
have
A
a
team.
right now. We don't have
No,
a
pick 'em up
base
as a
of
B team.
operations.
Or the score that the next score is in prison.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we could all just go to prison and
Yeah.
like try to break out. Maybe
we think we're all badass. And we did this great thing, and that we got everything on lockdown, and we lock everything in the vault, everything's secure, and then we all just get thrown in the hoosegow.
No, I love that
Yeah.
the entire party, including Sable.
Okay,
Right, yeah.
so
Scooped up.
the upside
Everybody
is
got
our heat is
pissed.
now empty.
Yeah.
So we dump our
They
heat.
consider us to be a
But
game
the next game session will be the score inside the prison, and then I think after that we'll play it from here. We'll play it by ear. But I love the idea that the entire party got pinched.
Yeah, maybe we got picked up afterwards.
Well, I like the idea of we weren't just like sitting on our territory. We all went to celebrate to indulge our vices.
Yeah.
And then they just picked us up one by one as we're in like opium dens and whorehouses and
love it.
stuff. Yeah.
I'm dragging Janny to jewelry stores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Janny.
Yeah, and of course, if you know, because it's a Get Me Brodor production, that there are very subtle camera shots that show that when each of you is being arrested, that there is Crow influence with the blue coats, of course.
Maybe these are some of the
pouch
guys
of
we-
money is passed.
Well, maybe
and
these are
it's,
some of the
yeah.
guys we saw that
Yeah.
were out of uniform.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Or you know, maybe not because you killed them, or
Well, I thought there were ones outside.
there
though,
were.
right?
I was
Yeah.
playing because you blew the guy's head off.
Well, yeah, that guy's dead.
Sorry.
For sure.
How many XP does the group get?
How does that work, Chad?
Okay, wait.
Okay.
The gang or
Yes.
the
The
individual?
The gang.
The gang.
The gang XP.
That's not the same as rep.
Right.
No.
I
Because we've been
always-
missing XP, I think, for a while.
I always say that is on you guys. You guys manage that.
So the
And
individual
I don't know
XP,
that.
I do a pretty good job with because
Yeah, that's easy to keep track of. Just on your sheet.
Yeah, see, I just did it myself because I gave myself 3 XP because 2 for addressing multiple challenges. Oh, that's gross. 2 for addressing multiple challenges with tracking or violence.
Yeah.
1 for expressing a belief, drive, heritage, or background.
Yeah, because I mean the group sheet we only have 3 XP, and that's for everything the job everything the
Yeah,
Jawbreakers
there's
has
no
ever
way.
done. We've only got 3 XP.
Yeah, and that doesn't seem right. That's why I said I'm pretty sure we haven't given ourselves XP for a while. But we don't always have time after we're done to do that because it takes a lot of
right.
time.
That was something I was thinking about tonight's game.
And I think we
session,
forget
too.
it a lot.
I just I wanted to be
Really have time.
at a reasonable time, so we could do this stuff. Well, let's call it 3.
All right.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's. I think it's good for the. I think it's good for the score.
Let's give ourselves some for the score that we actually did as the A team too when we went to, because we did a score for the mannequin.
Right.
That whole thing was technically a score, right?
Well, it was
You're a score.
Lard is paying you guys to do it. No, is he? God, it's been so long.
Yeah,
They sent you.
I don't remember, to be
Yeah.
honest. It's been so long.
I say, we've been doing all the charity
Chad. You
work
just get
for-
your own podcast.
But I was
Let's
looking
do
at
2
I was
times
looking at
speed.
this. That one is a totally different score that I don't think we should get XP for because we technically haven't finished it yet. I was talking about the one we did for the mannequin finding the storyteller. That was technically a score, right? Because we rescued her.
Yeah, I mean, he isn't going to pay you, but you can loot his shit.
No,
we're
but
talking
like
XP wise.
XP wise.
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
talking XP.
Anytime there's a score, you do XP.
How much XP do you think that would be, though?
No, you track it as you do it. So I don't say, okay, this score. Oh, for the gang.
Yes, we're talking
We're
game.
solely
We're only talking game.
I'm sorry, I was reading.
Okay,
This shit's easy.
At the end of the session, review the crew XP triggers and mark 1 crew XP for each item that occurred during the session. So it's apparently on the template.
Per session. So
That's per session.
Oh shit, we should have way more fucking
Yeah.
XP.
I say we've been basically a
So,
charitable organization.
We should have way more XP.
So.
I told you guys I'm not tracking that for
Oh,
your game.
I'm not bitching anyone. I'm just commenting.
Well,
I mean-
you should bitch at Wayne because he was the one running.
yeah. So I mean,
Yeah, Wayne.
so every session that we execute a successful battle, extortion, sabotage, or smash and grab.
Holy fuck, that's all we do.
I would say
Okay.
that's just like 6 or 8 XP right there.
Yeah.
Contend with challenges
The train alone,
above
that's like
your current
a few.
station.
You did that.
Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one.
You did
Yeah.
that.
Express the goals, drives, and inner conflict or essential nature of the crew.
Yeah, then we should have like 10 or 12
You mean
XP.
abject,
easy.
destructive chaos and bloodshed? I think you did that.
Yeah.
All right, so in lieu of trying to retcon figure all of this out, how about we just pick
This is
two advancements?
I love that.
I think so.
how much does an advancement work?
Basically, it's filling up the XP track twice.
Okay, that works.
So that'd be what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
You can also get another cohort.
Yeah.
You can also get crew upgrades.
Right. So I'm just saying either an ability, an upgrade, just 2 things.
I will let you pick them, but I say yes, Greg. Go get 2.
Well, what my first option would be a crew upgrade of Iron Hook contacts +1 tier in prison.
Oh.
Seeing as though we're getting ready to go into prison.
So
Metagame it. Yeah.
Silas overindulged his vice.
What does this mean, Silas?
So what this means is that some trouble happens, and the trouble I pick is that I brag about our exploits,
That's how we got caught.
and I get 2 heat to the gang, and I will say in character. That was the domino that fell. They're
I
trying.
like that.
Everyone's hiding. Everyone's doing their shit.
Silas seems like he would fucking
Yeah.
get us nicked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's like just keep it on
He's
the down
just
low.
drunk. And the smell of it is just...
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to take Iron Hook contacts, which gives us +1 tier while we're in prison.
Wow, you're more badass in prison than not.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, actually, having this character, this is not his first time. He's been in prison before, so...
All right, and then how about War Dogs? War Dogs. When you're at war, -3 faction status, so with the Crows, PCs get +1D to vice rolls. And still get 2 downtime actions instead of just 1.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, wow, so the recovery becomes free.
Yeah, see, you thrive at
Right.
war. Wow, I love that.
But you have to be at war. So all the games that we played up until the point you guys left on the train, nobody was at war.
No, yeah, we didn't because we didn't know either. So.
But the idea too is you can say, well, we've got this war dog thing. We're gonna start a war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I want to learn territories so we can start,
Yeah.
Playing
We're
with it a
we're 3 rep away from adding to our turf, by the way.
Yep.
Let me see that.
Very cool.
Because aren't these like?
So we get 1 downtime action.
We get 2 now.
Well,
Yeah, because like terrorized citizens, we get +2 coin for battle.
let's see.
Street
There's
fence +2 coin for lower class targets.
Okay, so it's resolve the payoff, resolve the heat, resolve the entanglements, then the downtime.
Right.
And so when do we do the XP? At the end of the session for each item. Okay, so it says end of session. Downtime is not end of session. I mean, this seriously means a second
Right
edition.
now is when we're going to do downtime activities, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously you're doing your down. It takes time for the police
Yeah.
to catch you, right? So it takes time to indulge your vice. So I'm happy for you guys to put time toward downtime activities before you get pinched.
I like the idea that the extra 2 coin that we actually had was you spending it getting too drunk.
Yeah. And Because
everybody's like, okay, lay low, and you're like, yeah, no problem.
yeah, no, that I am nothing but subtle, and he's motivated by coin, so he actually like lifted coin out of his dad, and he just like a fool was given too much money, and yeah, he was the domino that fell that allowed them to get everybody.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to piss while you guys figure out what downtime activities you want to do, if any.
I got everyone thrown in jail. That was my downtime.
That's pretty exciting,
Yeah.
actually. Pretty exciting.
So do we get one or two?
One or two what?
Downtime activities.
2 if we're at war.
Because you are currently
Oh, okay.
at war. Yep.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to start a project of prison shiv.
Project of Prison Shiv.
Using mine to start. I literally do not have any single skill in the resolve tree. I should probably get at least 1 dot down there in something.
Yeah, that's what I tried to do with
I think
both my
command.
characters. At least just one, in case you ever have to roll just the up and down.
Exactly, yeah. Right now I'm kind of screwed on that, so I'll try to start working for command. I think we're basically done. Let's doing anything else. So now we can sign out and shut the episode down, and I'll send this out so other people can be disgusted by it.
God.
At least they won't have to see the pictures.
Jesus, I can't believe he brought visual aids.
I know, that's what's only getting prep was these disgusting ass all bomb level medical textbook level drawings and a photo of people decaying.
They were tasteful, disgusting pictures. You have to admit that.
All right, one of my downtime things that I did was acquire an asset. What I did was I turned that peg leg that I stole into a peg leg baton, and I rolled it up fine.
I'm
So it's
surprised
a fine peg leg baton.
you kept a, shouldn't it be like +1 disease too? Because you got fucking
No,
syphilis.
I what I'm doing is I get it. I'm getting it carved for every score we
You're, like,
do.
whittling it?
Yeah, it's gonna have like representations of each score we do. The peg leg,
Right.
And it is now a fine baton.
I love it.
So it's perfectly balanced. I'm like fucking Daredevil.
Fucking Nightwing.
Yes, exactly.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will catch you all next time.